Guys, 2 live streams in one night. Is 2 live crew up in here. Got to open a beer up. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. This is the first beer of the day. It's been a long day. Work has been crazy this week. It's been, being gone for 10 days to sick week, which is the participants we're talking to tonight. And then being back, it's been rough. I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to see friends again. If you haven't seen it, I did a little Race Car Friends video. I've really been watching it because I'm like, man, I miss all these people. So, I've been going through Instagram and Facebook as much as I can to look at all that stuff. So please, if you haven't done it yet, post up all your pictures. Everybody that's at home that is reminiscing about sick week is obviously looking at all that stuff. I will tell you, you'll hear the heaters come on and off. I've had them in here for about 3 hours. So I'm a little sinusy. Sorry about that. It's so dry in here. I'm going to have to get me a humidifier to run with the heaters because it's so cold out here. I was telling Scott and Bob, who are backstage right now, I was telling them the Rain-X, windshield washer fluid was plus 32 on the shelf and it's frozen. So that tells you how kind of cold it was. In the rest of the shop, a little podcast room that the guys helped put together is nice and warm. It's 59 degrees in here right now, so that's a plus. I do want to thank Dino Cardella, Donovan Green, Tyler Petrum, Tom Stark, Matt Monroe, Ryan Wing, and Big Bad Daddy, the Cowboy Yankee, John Marat, for helping put the podcast room together. Because without you guys, we wouldn't have this room, and it wouldn't be 60 in here, and I would be trying to do this in the house. And we all know that wouldn't be nearly as much fun to hear me talk from my dinner table. So we got folks in the background. We got Hot Rod Dave. We got Daniel Green, a.k.a. Danny Diesel. And we got Scott and Bob with Vets Unlimited. Going to have the LePenskes on here in just a few minutes. All of our live streams for Sick Week are brought to you by Destroyer1320.com with the neutral safety strap cover for all of your 2015 to 2021 Mopar, the Challenger, Charger, and 300 I know of. I think anything with a center console has this neutral safety strap. Bust the window, pull the strap, roll the car away. I mean, I don't know. That seems very crazy to me. So he makes these after one of his friends had his car stolen. So anyways, enough of my stuff. Let's get into guests. Again, we're talking Sick Week 2022 with all the participants. So we're going to bring them in now, and we'll have everybody introduce themselves. And then we're going to get into stories kind of like what we told last week with everybody. So that'll be a ton of fun. We got Scott and Bob, Vets Unlimited, who rode around in Pumpkin. They're going to tell us about that in a minute. And probably the coolest trailer on all of the trip. We got Daniel Green, a.k.a. Danny Diesel. And then we got Hot Rod Dave in the 65 El Camino.
What's up, Dave?
Cool. Danny has a really cool story. There's a part where we're going to ask what parts broke. We're just going to give him the floor for like 30 minutes to talk about all the struggles that he faced during the week. So, well,
I'm going to be jumping in and out. I'm cooking dinner.
Nice. Awesome. We'll make us some stuff too. So
yeah.
Obviously as it goes through the night, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. So you'll see stuff like this, like where Justin jumps in here and you see the Facebook logo.
So,
and then where I was making comments here on the Narcoleptic page. So for YouTube. So you guys will see that pop up. Chris Story just popped in. Thanks, dude. Glad you're here. All right. So here's the way this is going to work. We got to lay some ground rules real quick. So it's probably easiest if we Brady Bunch this a little bit and kind of work our way in for everyone at home, a clockwise circle. For us, when you use your hands, it's a counterclockwise circle to make sure you get you got Scott and Bob over here. Those guys will typically go first because it's easier to just follow that. So we'll do Scott and Bob, then Danny, and then Hot Rod Dave as we answer questions. So to lead us off, Scott and Bob, why don't you guys tell us where people can find you on, all your introduce yourself, what car you drove, social media channels, all that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's a lot for an old guy. Let's see. We drove the 74 orange Vet, looked like a pumpkin. I've actually had that car since I was 19. We have gone through several different engine combinations and transmissions over the years, but
had the same.
Well, since we've known each other for about 25 years, that car's, had a 400 small block in it, 4L80E in it. Now that was our first trip. We had about 2 miles on it before we took it on the test trip. Now, we weren't racing, but we did sick week. We got into the sick ward because I missed my cutoff time to sign in. But we wanted to use it as a practice, make sure everything was running good for Rocky Mountain Race Week coming up. But I tell you what, as a sick ward person, I still had such a good time and less stress. Didn't have to worry about getting in the pits on time. We were sitting back eating food, and Reggie and Jason, they were all stressed to get tires changed, all that good stuff, But anyway, social media, Vets Unlimited, Facebook, and Vetmaster Scott on Instagram, but I am not an Instagram professional at all. So I'd be lucky to be able to receive a message. So anyway.
Hey, John.
John's on there. John Solers. Hey,
John just commented. He works with us.
Yeah, John Solers. He popped in a message, and he works with us here at the shop. So,
nice. Awesome. Ooh,
but
gonna have some feedback, I guess. There, Scott, you may turn your volume down just a little bit.
My volume. You're asking a lot for a computer illiterate. There we go.
If somebody has their YouTube on and StreamYard on at the same time, it'll feedback real bad. So you got to turn the YouTube off if you've got it on at the same time.
No, we just got the one up. I didn't want to have any problems. So
there you go. Nick Derry is saying, who did the custom paint job on the pumpkin?
Yeah, that was a lot of years of sitting in a backyard, mold and sun damage, and Hey, so, okay, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So, but
dude, I thought it looked really cool, man.
It's got a new bumper.
Yeah, it's got a brand new
trailer's
bumper.
awesome.
What else you want? So,
all right, Danny, you wanna tell us who you are? Obviously, if folks have followed for a while, you've been on a few times. I love you. Big hugs to you, man. And so you want to tell her? I'll tell all the new folks that don't know who you are.
Yeah, so my name's Daniel Green, aka Danny Diesel. Basically, long story short, I sold everything I owned 2 years ago to travel the country to inspire people to live out their dreams, as I am trying to live out one of my dreams. So, yeah, we went to Sick Week. We got past the Florida-Georgia line, and things went haywire. So, yeah, that's a little bit of my introduction, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
You can find me on YouTube, Danny Diesel, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, Danny Diesel. I'm out there live in action, putting out content for you guys to inspire you to live out the dream.
That's great, dude. And you really do inspire a ton of folks.
Corvette's like, that was hilarious at the truck stop.
Yeah. Tab Feemster there. You want to tell the truck stop story real quick? He said, looks like somebody said, "Hey man, y'all like Corvettes, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember
the truck stop story. I don't know. What's he talking about? Somebody elaborate. We are old, you got to remember, we slept since
I didn't
then,
meet Tab at the truck stop.
I hope it had nothing to do with, I don't know.
Well, hey, there was that. Hey,
myself.
look, $20.
Hey,
Dave,
you gotta
We
get
talked to a
gas
bunch
money
of
going
people at
home.
the truck stop in Georgia, I think, when we got into Georgia. That's the only truck stop I remember.
nice. Dave, you
Well,
want to tell them
Reggie
where to
and
find
Jason
you?
was with us, so it might have been them.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, man.
Hot Rod Dave on YouTube, Hot Rod Dave TV on Instagram, and it's David Andrew Nelms on Facebook. I was in the sick ward and met those guys. Got to get my directions right. Scott and Bob on the first morning, I believe, Sunday morning, and we hung the whole week, man.
Yeah, we saw him sitting over there alone, and we're like, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Come on over."
Right.
So
Yeah. Hey, do you want to join our cult?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
We
you
need
guys
somebody
rolled
to
together.
and we need somebody else to sacrifice. So.
You guys rode together all week. It was pretty cool, man. I will say, once we left the checkpoint in Daytona, We didn't see you guys till we got to the next track.
You
guys were gone.
kind of went through a big puddle of water, I think, and ate half of the. I don't know what you did to that ignition system.
Fuel filters.
Oh,
Fuel filters.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuel filters. It was yeah, we'll tell that story later. It's a good one. All right, so let's get down to it. We went through all the stuff. All right, no worries. The like I said the other night, Jonathan Stone Cipher always says, once you do a drag and drive event, you'll either be a forever or a never participant. You'll either go every time you can, or you'll not go ever again. So that's the question to you guys. Are you guys a forever or never?
Forever.
Yeah, that was our third. We did Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0 in 2020 when Drag Week canceled. Was our first one, and after that we were hooked. We did Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0 in 21, and then when Sick Wake come up, it's in our backyard. We could not go.
Yeah, I mean it's right here.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, I remember I met you at Rocky Mountain Race Week, and I had my dad's '66 Vet, and that was just a tribute to him. That was his Vet that we bought it, found it, and bought it back. So I grew up in that car, and so. Dad has passed away, and so we had For You, Dad on the windshield. So the first one, we wanted to take his car. Yes, we're running a 14-second class. Who cared? We just had a good time, and the people that we met, was awesome. So, and, even with us running Sick Ward, we ran with Reggie and Jason and those guys. We hung out, and you ran with us for a little while. And it's just the friendships you make. And Bob said, you reminded me, it's kind of like the military, that camaraderie is, like the military, we watch out for each other. The thumbs up, the thumbs down. We just make sure everybody's all right on the road. And my daughter just chimed in, Ashley. Hi, Ash, love you.
That's awesome. All right. Sorry, getting some crazy feedback here. It must be the reflection off of you guys. I think that's what it is. So that do you want to tell us a little bit about the car? I know Danny's a forever guy. He's going to hit every drag and drive event he can do, right?
That's the only way to redeem yourself. It's the only way.
Dude, there's going to be some good stories come from this. I'm telling you. How many hours were you awake?
36 hours straight.
I love it. I'm sure you were not loving it when it was in the moment.
To be honest with you, man, things just went into a blur, and we just, put our heads down and grinded as hard as we could. But
yeah, just kept working, dude. It's crazy, man. We're gonna tell that story, I promise, for everybody that's watching. It's because it's a good one, because it really is. It is about the family of drag and drive. Red Hat was over there helping, I think, at one point. And I kept talking about helping, and I never did because we were busy as I side eye out of there. So you kind of talked about Pumpkin. Danny, when you get back, do you want to tell us a little bit about the car you took, or where you took down there, and then the little bit about that?
Are you talking to me or?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get some batteries here. My battery's about dead. Sorry. So yeah, about the car that we took down there is a 1989 Dodge Colt. So if you guys don't know what that is, perfect time for you to Google it real quick. Mm-hmm. But it's practically a Geo Metro. So we took a 2.0 liter DSM engine in and stuffed it into a 89 Dodge Colt, converted it into an all-wheel drive car, and took it from Washington State down to Florida for Sick Week. And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and the car is basically it's a street car. It was built, or it was actually built about 3 years ago, and I bought it off of the guy that built it, and we reassembled it with the billet block and threw it together for sick week, and the results showed what happened.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to get it pulled up here pretty quick. It's a really neat car, and it would have been very interesting to watch. And it sounds like somebody's dragging something across their microphone.
That's you.
Sorry, didn't mean to make noise.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't ever let it happen again.
Yeah, it's just a squeaky chair. Trying to roll around and get comfortable.
Keep it down there, man.
Danny, you don't have any pictures of the car on your Facebook, dude. The only picture you have on your Facebook of the car is this one. Hang on, because this is a good one.
If you just want to share my profile picture, that explains life.
Yeah, that's the one I'm pulling up. that's the
that picture there was taken by Chris Story. He took that picture while I was sitting in the tech line for 7.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and that was what 30 hours into working on the car, and you guys were trying to get through tech, so then you could really get back to working on it. It's an amazing story.
We'll be working on an in-tech line.
Yeah. I mean, it was on and off the lift a bunch. Like the portable lift guy had it parked in front of your spot because you guys were on and off.
That was what was that? That was about 7 p.m. at night. We seen him pull in, and we're like, "Hey, bud, are you busy?" He's like, "No, what do you need?" I'm like, "Well, we need the lift to work on this car here." And that was on Friday night. Friday night of sick week.
Man,
no, Friday night before sick week.
Yeah, and then all day Saturday, and then part of. I think we talked late Saturday morning or late Saturday afternoon, and again, you did all you could do. How many times did y'all have the trans out of that car?
4 times.
God,
four times in 2 days.
I'm giving all the story away here. Dave, you want to talk a little bit about the car you took? I don't know if he can hear us. He took a super cool 65 El Camino. I'll let him tell the story, but it's a 283 Power Glide car. He's like, I'm making these eggs. Shut your mouth.
Dave, you there?
Dave.
You're muted. Turn your mic on. There you go.
Sorry, my family literally just pulled in. I'm out in the shop, and I'm cooking pork chops on the green egg, and I've got sweet potatoes in the oven, and my kids have been at their grandparents. They're out of school all week, and we're leaving in the morning to go to Valdosta to go to the Lights Out race. It's like the Fire World Series or whatever.
Yeah,
so we're trying to relive a little bit of a sick week by going back to Valdosta and smelling that manure.
Yeah, man, it was brutal. I was like, "What is happening?" The dudes in the tractors are like, "Yeah,
take that,
take that, you bastards!" On vacation, we're like, "This is the hardest vacation you'll take." Anyway,
you're the stinkiest.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody what you drove? And I don't even know what the other question. I think it's just what you drove.
Drove the 65 El Camino. It's I bought it back in June to specifically build for drag and drive events. We haven't quite got it in race mode yet. It's still has the stock drivetrain. We've got the front end done. It's got tubular control arms. It has disc brake conversion, Viking double adjustables in the front. I've got a Fab 9. 9-inch with 40 spline axles and 370 gears and a spool sitting on the floor right here. I can give you a tour if you'd like.
Yeah, walk us over there. We got Rob and Christy in the back.
You want to see it?
Well.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's the shop. There's the Camino. I don't know how well y'all can see. I can't see because I'm holding the laptop. So that's what I drove. Didn't give me any trouble other than keeps closing up the gap on number 6 spark plug. Likes to burn a little oil. And I'm doing an LS swap on that guy. And there's my Fab 9. And there's the center section and the Willwood brakes. And And what?
Oh, you muted yourself there.
There we go.
Perfect. All right. Well, while you're since that kind of wraps that up, I'm gonna pop and let Rob and Christy in here as well, and they can tell us all their stuff. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
I don't know if everybody knows this that's watching, but you guys are like royalty.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
You can say that though, so there you go.
Them little princesses running around. It was so cool to see them having fun. If everybody hasn't seen it, I did like a 2-minute interview with their daughters in the backseat of the Old Yeller Gasser, which is how many time champion, Gasser champion.
We've run Rocky Mountain twice and Race Week twice.
4.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Royalty. Yeah. And everybody knows the car. And it's super cool. So why don't you guys tell them, 1, where they can find you, and then 2, about the car too.
You can find us Twisted Iron LLC on YouTube, Facebook, Rob LePenske, Christy LePenske, and then at Rob LePenske on Instagram. One of them there things that I try to use every once in a blue moon.
All them social medias.
Yeah, many of them.
We got to get Christy on to post a little more on Instagram.
I don't have an Instagram.
Oh, really? Oh, well, then there's some other Christy LePenske out there.
Oh, maybe I do.
Maybe she's got one. I don't know. She doesn't ever use it. So
yeah, that's for
I've
sure.
never used it, so I might have one.
Yeah, post on his then. we need more. We need more content. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get going more on Henrietta soon.
Yeah. Back on her car here now that got that sick week shenanigans over, and got Old Yeller sitting in the driveway with the cover on it, covered in snow right now, so it's not even out at the shop. So
I've got to turn on the air conditioning. It's starting to get hot in here.
Oh man, I'll trade you.
And it was 80 degrees today.
Yeah, it's 65 in my shop right now. I got all the doors
I think
up.
you got up to like 13 today. Something like that. I know on the way to work it was -6. So
yeah, it's
for the weather to be back.
Yeah, it's 17 here. I was telling everybody earlier, it's 61 in the podcast room. So it's 30 in the shop, 60 in here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. So, hey, real quick before we get into the next round of questions, John Sollers, thank you very much for the reminder. Guys, share this out. We'll probably be on, I would think, an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Everybody, this is like the precursor to everybody getting warmed up. So we're gonna have a good time and tell tons of sick week stories, and then lead that into all kinds of other car stories. So Rob and Christy, just so you guys know, we'll probably, as we ask questions, it'll start with Scott and Bob here, and then we'll work our way around to Danny, and then Hot Rod Dave, and then you guys. So it's just easier to kind of do that. We'll do that as best we can.
Everybody screaming out at the same time.
I mean, it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So that's the way it works. All right. So, but out of everybody, you guys are the only guys that campaigned to car racing. So why don't you tell us, about Old Yeller a little bit, and then also, like ETs throughout the week and fastest you went.
Let's see. So, just a little old small block twin turbo gasser, nothing fancy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Kind of thrown together, but keep trying to make it better every year.
Yeah.
Things started off, we just had a bone stock 4.8 in it with a single turbo the first year, and had a lot of fun. She wanted to kill me. She had no desire to go, and
None.
Was about to kill me, and that was that.
Nice.
Ended up going, drug her out to the track, and made it through the first day. After that, we lost an injector driver. So, yeah, it was quite the adventure. But by the end of it, they're all hooked. Can't wait to go back, and went downhill from there. Now, got multiple cars, and less money, but more and more fun.
More memories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You're trading dollars for memories for sure.
Yeah. Kids love it, want to be packed in the car. So
yeah. And it's funny, I always thought like the passenger seat would have slid forward, and that's how the kids got in like normal. Nope. They slid in like a spot about like this. So
they slide through the jungle gym. They actually like it better now since updated it to the 25.5. The crossbar got lowered down low enough so it's actually open, because before they had to climb over that
to slide into the back, and now they can actually walk through it. So
Nice. That's awesome. What kind of times does that car run?
best we've been is 864.
That was on sick week.
That was on sick week, and finally
That's
got
great.
a half-ass actual A to B pass in it, and started trying to go faster from there, and just didn't happen.
That's pretty fast in that car.
Yeah,
That's pretty fast in any car. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's good. We had a couple of runs. One got a little squirrely up top, so I pulled the chutes early. But by the early numbers, it had probably been about an 805, 810-ish on that run. And then next one spun early and ran out the back for data and had the mile an hour there to be a low 8 to high 7. So
That's crazy. What is a 25.5 or 25.2 cage?
25.5, so it's good for 750.
Come on. Is that the goal? You going to get down there and ease on the cage a little bit?
Kind of was the plans, but at this point, it's like that car being set up gasser and going that fast, it's like it's going to get crashed, and I really don't want to crash that car.
Again.
Yeah, especially at that kind of mile per hour.
Yeah. It's like my great-grandma bought that car new in 54. I still got all the paperwork from they originally bought it. So it's one of those, I don't want to crunch that car up. So I think it's time to get going on the Falcon here. So everything plans out right now. I'll be out for race week, and Old Yeller just go back to daily driver.
That's awesome. I don't guess I've seen any of the Falcon stuff. I've been so busy. You'll have to tell us about that in just a little bit too. We got to get back to sick week stuff.
Yes.
Favorite track for you guys? Everybody, start with Scott and them. Favorite track of the week?
Well, they were all cool because I didn't get the race, so it was like I probably agree with Bob. He South Georgia.
Other than the smell.
Yeah, other than the smell. Yeah, but I do like Bradenton, so I had a good time there too. So, but I didn't get the experience down the track, and don't know how the would feel and all that good stuff. But man, I had fun at all of them. So,
Danny, did you go to any other tracks other than Bradenton?
I think the best track that we experienced was Bradenton. That was the only track that we experienced.
Don't say that last part.
Oh, I mean, besides, what is that? What's that freeway? I-275 or anyways, the main freeway that gets into Tampa, we experienced that quite a bit. So, yeah, that was the best track we went to.
Nice. Rob and Christy, which one do you guys like the most?
I like South Georgia. I can agree with the not liking the smell. But I like Bradenton around there. So Gainesville, I've been there a bunch of times. So that was always a fun one, but didn't get to get everybody down to the Gator ponds to show them all those. So missed out on some of that fun on that trip.
Yeah. Johnson.
About no gators.
Yeah, I was a little bummed. I was really kind of, the way everybody talked it up, I thought we may sneak into seeing one or two, but I'm sure they weren't close enough to the roadways there to see.
Well,
there's a
Gainesville,
lot.
if you go past the sand trap, you go back, there's 2 ponds back there. You go to that back pond, it's full of gators.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
We found a lot of gators in Florida.
On your vacation?
Yeah, on our vacation.
Was there a favorite day that you guys had, like something that maybe stuck out, not just racing? I mean, we did a lot of driving through that part of the country.
to back to us.
Yeah. It'll always be you guys first.
Well, I would say, Don Garlitz, I've been there before. So that part of it was awesome. And see, we camped out at every place that we stopped. So we got to sleep in Don Garlitz's backyard. So it was kind of cool. There's a lot of drag racing history. And of course, it started when I was 4 or 5 with my dad. So, I saw some of those cars run when I was a kid. So when we go back in that museum, I'm like, hey, I actually got to see this. I'm from up north. Edgewater Raceway was up there in Ohio, next to Indiana, where we're from. But anyway, some of those cars, seeing them as a kid, now, hey, they're in a museum. It's kind of cool to go see.
Yeah, definitely.
My best day was probably day 1 of sick week when I got to walk around and visit all my friends again, see everybody. talk to everybody, get the encouragement and the lifting up that we needed on day one. So, yeah.
I'm gonna have to roll with Gartlet's day. Being able to take the kids. I'd been at the museum once when I was around 12 or 13, but being able to go back with all the kids and everybody and check everything out, good time.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
They wanted to watch all the movies.
I want to go back and watch the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend the day just.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, can we rent these movies?
It reminds me of being a kid, like watching, like on Sundays, all the car show stuff would come on.
Yep.
And I would sit there and watch like NHRA Today and all that stuff. And I remember some of those stories that were playing on some of those monitors. It was really cool.
Yeah, the Don Garlett stuff for me was really neat. Like just the early performance stuff. Like, I mean, those guys are, I talked about it the other day, like, in the last live feed, like those guys are, I mean, they're casting aluminum intakes in their freaking garage and sandboxes to make this stuff,
Yeah.
When you're allowed to have some ingenuity in the sport.
Yeah. Weren't so many rules and keeping all the fast guys fast and everybody else figuring out how to get more sponsors to pay for the fast parts, Yep. That's pretty neat. We're going to definitely talk about my next question is favorite checkpoint and why is it Don Garlett's? Which room of that place was your favorite? Mine was definitely the engine room. I think that was the funnest part, and the wall of flathead Ford intake stuff. I think that was the coolest.
What was your favorite?
I like the engine room, but it's got to be the largest collection of superchargers on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every you couldn't swing a dead cat and not hit a supercharger.
Speaking of dead cat, but no, yeah, and I like the antique section too. It's just where history. I'm not a Ford guy by no means, but it's like seeing all that old stuff in there. It's like, hey, this is where it came from. Early hot rodding, grassroots stuff, and coming from a low budget side, that's where I consider myself, and it's like, they were making parts like you said before. So just the old stuff, the ingenuity, a twin engine dragster there, up on the sides, it's just freaking awesome. So it's, different ways of thinking, trying to make something better, faster, having that idea of, I'm sure people thought that they were just crazy with some of the stuff that they came up with, but it's just awesome with all the history there.
Yeah, I'll agree. Rob and Christy. Oh, sorry, Danny. Oh, he's lagging a little bit, maybe.
Well, best checkpoint for me was day one. We got down to the end. We got down to the end of the road and turned right back around. So, yep, that was the best checkpoint, Bradenton, Florida. Yep.
Sorry, man. Rob and Christy.
So yeah, I'd have to go to the big room with all the race cars. Just the evolution of very early to up to the modern stuff.
The girls really like the antique cars, though. They, however, thought for some reason that all the cars would have been smaller.
Right.
And I didn't realize it would be this big.
Yeah, they used to seeing all the stuff that were always around, all the small cars that everyone makes the hot rods out of and the race cars out of, small, lightweight. So they weren't expecting all the big sedans and gave them a whole new view of them.
Right. I don't even think I made it to the other room. We were, it was late when I went in and Justin was like, hey man, let's get to the hotel. I'm tired. And so we bounced after doing I think we did the engine room in that main first building there.
You missed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of speed walked through a lot of it.
Yeah, we started off over there and did a really fast loop through and then went over to the other side.
Oh man, where you headed? I feel like we're going on.
Got to head outside to the smoking room.
Oh, nice. Dave, what was your favorite of Garlett's, man?
I mean, of course, Garlett's was my favorite, and I think all the rooms were awesome. I think the coolest thing I saw was, well, I don't know. I can't pick one. I really can't. But there was a Chevelle in there. It was like the first fiberglass funny car or something. It had fuel injection stacks sticking towards the front coming out of it. I've got a picture of it on my Instagram. It's a really cool car. And it was like the first fiberglass funny car or something like that. It was, I'd have to go back and read it. There's so much history in that place. It's insane. It's just where it's all from. It's really cool.
And I think just having what blew me away was just the amount of stuff that was there. Like, somebody took all the past 70 years of stuff and just kept jamming it in this museum. You know what I mean? Like, and people I'm sure would donate stuff and pick up things everywhere else. So that was always really cool to me. Just to walk through. I did get to talk to Wes Buck of Drag Illustrated for just a second. He was flipping through the newspaper articles that were there, and he was like, it's so interesting to see all of this stuff. And that's what he does now, is he documents all of the drag drag racing and things like that with Drag Illustrated. And he was like, one of our very first magazines is over there in one of the displays. He's like, that was pretty cool. So that was really neat to hear him tell that story. So
I heard him talking about that. I was cruising around with a camera trying to take as many pictures as I could, and I was taking shorts in there too. So I still haven't gone through all that stuff that I took in there. I spent most of my time doing that and wish I could have spent most of my time enjoying it. So I definitely have to go back so I can spend a bunch of time in there and just soak it in.
I've been down there. I've been down there a couple of times, but it's always been with the family on the way back from Disney World. And they're like, hurry up, Dad. And I'm like, you guys go shopping or something. Let me go.
We need to make a trip. We need to make a trip and just go down there with us guys and just
let us know.
It in.
Let us know we're going down there.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
The
agree.
first time I ever went there, the little red wagon was just inside the front door. That was really cool.
You gotta leave us ladies out, huh?
Oh no, I meant in general,
car guys, all of us, everybody's
Our people.
Car people, yes.
My wife wouldn't. My wife would walk in and be like, all right, I'm done.
Messed up in the head like us and want to do this shit.
Yep.
Facts.
Justin and Racers and Rods posted therein. I think it would be fun to just go out, and really take about 4 or 5 hours that you could spend in there and, conversate back and forth about all the cool stuff. So.
And if you're down this way, there is a nice car museum down in Tallahassee as well. So it's right on I-10.
Tallahassee's beautiful over there. I love North Florida. So it's really pretty if you really have time to take it in. There's so many springs and rivers and parks and stuff, cool stuff to go to. I haven't spent enough time myself there, but I plan on going back and spending a lot of time there.
I'm over this shit. I'm ready just to move to Florida.
Hey, I'm in Georgia, and I'm ready to move to Florida.
That snow turns into sand real quick.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
I couldn't live up north. There's no way.
No,
I'm
I don't
over
know
it.
I don't know how people live in that kind of climate. I'm out.
I'm from up there. He's from Michigan. I'm from Indiana, and we grew up there, and military brought us down here, and so our wives are like, no, we're not going back up north. My wife's from Texas, and she's like, no, I ain't living nowhere there's snow.
My wife said that if I went up there to live, I'd go alone.
Smart
That's
lady.
awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just
It
trying to
looks
figure
like,
out how we're gonna move everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple of U-Hauls maybe in about a month worth of driving. That'd be about the way I
Well,
think.
no, I'm never, ever moving again. My kids are going to be digging shit out of my backyard years after I'm gone.
That's awesome. Nick Deary says he'd fly in. Let's go. And Justin's like, I'm in whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Nick's a buddy of ours from in the Air Force. He was stationed here with us. He had the yellow vet for Rocky Mountain Race Week. So
Cool.
yeah, we missed it, man.
And you and I were talking, Scott and I were talking about having him and Scott and Bob on in a couple weeks. So I'm trying to work through all the sick week participants, and then obviously we're going to start transitioning towards.
If Nick gets on here, you might want to rate it. You're going to have to rate it a little bit for adults only. It's
Not PG.
not PG. No.
That's fine. We'll talk like we all do on sick week or on drag and drive events.
No. Okay, time to put the kids in bed.
Yeah, I made the comment the other day. It's like turning a bunch of 15-year-olds loose. For any drag and drive. Yeah.
You get us around a bunch of cars, and we're like a bunch of little schoolgirls, giddy and freaking. The first time we rolled into, with the Corvette, we were like little schoolgirls, all just giggly and all that stuff.
Still am every time we do a drag and drive. Just seeing all the cars, just like being 12.
Yeah.
Who's or where is your next drag and drive events, people?
Scott's going out to Rocky Mountain Race Week 1 in May.
Yeah, June.
June.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, I can't get the time off of work. So.
Yeah, so right now I've got an empty seat, so I'm trying to talk my daughter into going. One of my daughters, if they don't want to go, but my wife won't go because there's no Marriott, there's no palm trees, and
It doesn't have air conditioning.
It doesn't have air conditioning, so she's got to have that luxury where after a week of sweating it, and especially if something breaks, it's going to be ugly.
We were supposed to be in Savannah for my son's baseball tournament, and they canceled it yesterday.
Oh, man.
I'm thinking 1.0's in the books.
Nice.
I think I'm going to try to buy a pop-up with an air conditioner on the top and take the whole family, and we'll take 2 vehicles. That way they can branch off and go do other things if they want, and I'll stay on route. But we'll see. I'm still trying to convince the wife.
Yeah. I better be careful what I say. My wife may be popping in here and watching. So I digress.
Honey, I love you. Danny, you doing 1.0 too?
I didn't get signed up for it, but I'm just gonna show up and try to talk my way into it. If not, then I'm just gonna follow you guys along because I didn't have the honor to follow y'all in sick week. So
that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
I road weeked last year in the Monaco.
Didn't have her car together, so this year we'll have 2 cars out there.
I have to say I had just as much fun, not racing. And, I kind of felt bad. I felt like I was not worthy being in sick ward at first when we first started. I was like, well, I'm not racing. I lost a lot of cool points, I guess. But you know what? We had a really good time. And I wanted to bring the trailer. We built that trailer. We fly the American flag. I'm all about this country, and where else can you have this kind of event to where we're all having a good time? And the biggest thing is I've seen people that were racing each other in the same class. If they were broke down, the other guy was pulling parts to help them out, so, that's just a big thing in the community, and it's a family thing as well. So I'm hooked on it. I don't know if my financiers are able to be hooked on it as well, but so we're trying to
take it with me when I'm gone. So might as well spend it now.
Yeah, my kids are going to have to make their own money. I ain't leaving them.
Take theirs because I'm probably not going to be leaving them with them. I have a pile of cars, but
Yep. Now, Rob, are you guys going to campaign 2 cars? Huh? Or are you going to road week the Henry J?
No. Oh no, I'm racing it. Oh yeah,
that's awesome. For everybody that doesn't know, it's probably one of the coolest cars. I love the idea of the build. So tell everybody a little bit about it because it's the premise is awesome. So give us kind of a rundown.
So it's a 1951 Henry J, and we took the motor out of a 2016 Camaro. So it's a 6-speed. It's the LGX. So
V6.
Yeah, V6. We did
all
the suspension from it as well. Interior, except for the backseat. The backseat will still be the original one that was in the Henry J. I just recovered it. I mean, y'all can watch it on the YouTube page. There's
Nice.
Twisted LLC.
yes, Twisted Iron LLC. It's
No, there's about
it's a
23 episodes
20
on there.
or so
So
episodes of it.
It's a really cool, but I love the the main thing about that car too is like you'll look at it from the outside and it'll look Henry J, but then like it's all Camaro inside. It's and that probably makes what 300 and something horsepower from the factory, and then I know you guys aren't going to leave it alone.
no, it's not going to get left
Probably
alone.
not.
Tried making run with all the stock stuff in there, but we just fought that. That's why we didn't make race week with it last year.
Yeah, too many issues with the. If you've ever seen a wiring harness out of one of those things, weighs about as much as I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
What do we do with all this? Why is it here?
Yeah, we just never get any of it communicate and work like it was supposed to get the anti-theft out of it. So she got Fuel Tech 550 for Christmas. So
Nice.
that's what it's
I
been
got
getting ran.
spoiled.
Be back, fellas.
That's pretty cool. That's going to be a neat car, and I've been watching all the videos on it for the whole time you guys have been putting it out. I love that kind of stuff. Just because it'll have air conditioning and all that kind of cool stuff, and comfortable inside, and be fast.
Seats.
If we can make those work.
They'll work.
Oh yeah, even if it's a toggle, the heat will come on.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the AC, but
Yep.
It could still be a daily driver as well. So
yeah. So one of the girls in the interview was talking about that'll be interesting because there's 5 of you guys that run around now. So with 2 cars, people are going to have some separation anxiety.
right,
Yeah.
they will not be used to it at all.
Yeah, they're realistically going to be this many cars there this year, but we won't go into details on that yet.
That's too much money.
No.
No, we talked about that a while ago. You spend it all. Spend more than what you got. That way it keeps you motivated. That's what my boss used to always tell me. That's old
One
cars.
of those things we always go, get them into cars. They won't have enough money for drugs.
That's right. That's exactly right. So since you guys race during the week, how many passes did you get during the week? Because that was always a big conversation. We got 5 throughout the whole week.
Let me see.
Well, it's not for us. That's going to be for the only guy. that ran down
Sorry.
the track.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Rob and Christy here. On
Ended up. We just pretty much made one pass every day until the last day, and we made a couple. And
That's
then
cool.
I was going to go back for a third, but that's when all the crashes started happening and cooling off, and I almost crashed the car on my last run down there. Not many people saw it because nobody was paying attention in the shutdown area. So, but when the chute came out, hit that dip out there, and it picked the back of the car up, then turned me sideways and pointed me across at the other wall. So, figured that one was a pretty close call. It's like, probably better just call it a week.
Jeez, dude, that's nuts. That would have sucked. Because at least with the damage from a burnout, right? Like you were doing a cool burnout.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those high gear, probably going way too fast, and new different radials. They got greasy, was out of the throttle and rolled out, and then all of a sudden it was like being on black ice. That's the car just came around.
Yep. So don't want to do that again, especially at speed.
No.
Yeah. But everybody here pretty much drove all week. I'm gonna have to let Danny tell his story because I feel like I feel bad that he didn't have to that he doesn't have all the stories for us this time of racing. He has some stories, and we're gonna the next question after this one is what broke and the repair struggles, and we're gonna let him go first because he has all of them. Any road hazards or anything that you guys come across? The one guy with the Nova hit the deer. Matt Morton, who was on last week, they hit a road cone in their Ford truck. Scott and Bob, you guys want to start us off?
Well, everything ran good for us. I mean, I can't say anything negative about the overdrive. I'm loving the overdrive. So it was like last year we ran, 350. So we were running 3,000 RPM at 60 mile an hour. So, but that ran great. But what was it? The only problems we had is when I started messing with a carburetor. So I put a Y-band on it, and I was like, man, it's running too fast. So we started to lean it up with different jets, and we just screwed it up. We're like, well, okay, we're putting it back. Let's just get down the road.
Yeah, we had to rejet at somebody's parking lot. It was a gym.
Yeah, we were stopped at a 24-hour gym.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything ran great until I started messing with it. You know, I was like, great. Trying to make it better, but it wasn't better. It didn't like it. So,
But you guys,
two alternators.
yeah, Reggie, if it wasn't for us, he wouldn't have made a trip. So he took our alternator from my spare parts. You know how that goes. Helping everybody out. So,
Well, his went out and left us at night, and then Jason ran up and got a new alternator from AutoZone and got it back, and it didn't work.
yeah, it didn't work. You know, go figure. AutoZone brand new didn't work. Chinese.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, but yeah, there's a video. Hot Rod Dave's got a video on YouTube where we wedged a road marker stick with a flag because
to hold the belt tight
with the alternator against the block. So he's going down the road with his stick wedged in with the flag flying and everything. So, you know, we had to do the MacGyver thing. And
So you're muted, Daniel. You looked like you were saying something.
But yeah, so yeah, there was all kinds of headaches, you know, trying to make it work, vice grips, you know, duct tape and sticks off the side of the road. You know?
But we did cook hamburgers in the O'Reilly's parking lot. So.
Yeah.
yeah, at like 10:30 at night, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Danny, you want to lead us into some broken parts? Because he has a few.
Where do we start?
Let's start. You said earlier you had the trans out 4 times in 3 days or something like that.
Yeah. So how about can we rewind a day before that?
Let's do that.
Okay, so we drove from Washington State to Florida in 39 hours. We drove straight through, took 6 hour shifts driving. Right, literally, I'm not even joking. Right when we passed the Florida Georgia line, things just went haywire.
That should be a country song.
I don't know if my truck was upset with us or what happened, but about 50 miles in, past the into Florida, on our tow truck, it has rear air suspension, and one of our airbags blew. And so I pull around a 44-foot long gooseneck trailer with living quarters, the whole 9 yards. When one of your airbags blows on your air suspension, that pretty much limits you at that point. So yeah, we'll get into that later. But we limped it into Bradenton, Florida. Took us about 6 hours, but we limped it into Bradenton, Florida. Pulled up to the track, unhooked it from the trailer. We're like, hey, you know what? Let's just pull the race. This was Thursday before sick week. We pulled the car out of the trailer. We're like, hey, you know what? We'll just take it down the road for a little test hit, see how it likes Florida. And we drove it around the pits, got it warmed up. Everything seemed fine. We pulled out of the gate, went down to the end of the road, got onto the main road, and did a couple pulls, and all of a sudden it just went into neutral. And we're like, whoa, what the heck is going on? We pulled over. We let it sit for a little bit. We checked the transmission fluid, all that good stuff. Everything seemed fine. So we let it sit for, 10 minutes or so. We were just, giving at everyone going by. And started the car back up, drove it about a block, and it went into neutral again. That's when we were like, well, something's definitely haywire here. So I was like, we were about a mile away from the track, so it wasn't too big of a deal. So I decided, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to hitchhike back to the track. Someone, I got to get back to the track to pick up the broken truck that's going to come pick up the broken car and tow us back. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to hitchhike back to the track. Someone will pick me up. No big deal. I walked 1.5 miles back to the track.
Dude, that sucks.
Dude, not one person even stopped or blinked or anything. They seen the broke down car with the hazards on, seen me walking. I had my thumb out, the old school hitchhiking. Not one person stopped.
And you're a mile from the track and nobody's picking you up?
No one.
Jerks.
No one stopped. Nope.
Jerks.
Anyways, walked back to the track, got the broke down tow truck, limped it back, hooked up to the car, pulled the car into the pits, and made a couple phone calls, and we determined that we needed to pull the transmission. So that was Friday morning. We decided we needed to pull the transmission. So we pulled the transmission out, and keep in mind, it's an all-wheel drive car. It's front, the motor and the transmission. It's, basically a front wheel drive car with the transfer case. It's not an easy drop the drive line, pull out 8, bell housing bolts, and out your transmission comes. It's really not that easy. So, I've said it multiple times on this podcast. I'm not mechanically inclined. I don't deem to be mechanically inclined. It took us 3.5 hours to get the transmission out. And
that's still pretty fast. I mean, just be honest.
When you've never done it before, I would say it's pretty fast. We didn't know what bolt sizes were what, and so we were up and it was a disorganized mess. But luckily we had Red Hat Scotty there and his dad. They were there to help us out a lot. So we pulled the transmission out. We made some phone calls. A guy an hour and a half south Florida said that he would rebuild it. Well-known DSM builder. So what did we do? We threw the transmission in the back of the truck and took it. And this is Friday night. The guy obviously works a day job. So, he said he could only build it, after work. So we're like, all right. We drove it down there 6 p.m. We were at his doorstep. He rebuilt the transmission. The transmission was back on our door, back in the pits about 2 a.m. We woke up about 4 a.m. and started putting the transmission in the car. We got so that was Saturday. So the transmission's back. We woke up at 4 a.m. Sorry, all the days kind of meshed together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you don't have no sleep. And do keep in mind, audience, this is all – yeah. Shoot. Sorry, forgot about that part. So while one person is going to get the transmission rebuilt, we kind of split up. One person went down to the guy to help get the transmission rebuilt. At 11 p.m. at night, Red Hat Scotty and his dad take me to the Tampa airport, and this is Thursday night. So I went because my tow truck was out of service. I can't drive it around. It didn't have any air suspension, so it sat on bump stops. So I was thinking in my head, I'm like, and I was talking to Scotty and Daniel here, and I was like, man, where can we get a rental car at night? And I just said, well, you know what? Mm-hmm. We're going to go to the airport. Someone's going to be open, and and so we'll rent a car there. So Red Hat Scotty and his dad at 11 p.m. took me to the airport. The other part of the team went down south an hour and a half to get the transmission rebuilt. We all came back together at 2 a.m. and then we took a couple hour nap. And at 4 a.m. I woke up, and Daniel, the other guy with me, woke up, and we said, all right, we got to put transmission in. I was like, man, in all reality, I only have an hour because I got to go to the airport and pick up Noelle and her daughter that came in to do sick ward with us. So I have to be there at 5 a.m. The airport's 45 minutes away. I only have 15 minutes to help you get it all squared away. So I was like, huh. I asked Daniel, the guy that came with me. I was like, hey man, can you start getting the transmission in and start the process? He's like, yeah, sure, that's not a problem. Well, I lost track of time, and Daniel calls Red Hat Scotty at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man.
And keep in mind, we just went to bed.
Yeah.
He calls Red Hat Scotty at 5 o'clock in the morning and his dad and says, hey man, I need help getting this transmission in. Daniel had to run to the airport. So what happens? Dude, this is one reason why I love the drag and drive community.
Yep.
It was a no questions asked. Within, I think it was about 5:20, 5:30, Red Hat Scotty and his dad show up. Bright eye, blue tail, they're ready to go. And they helped put the transmission in. I showed up about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. But what happened is when we got the transmission back from the guy that rebuilt it, he sent us with the different converter. Well, we put the transmission in and got it like partially bolted up, like 40% in, and we noticed that the converter was the wrong clearance. It had an 1.5 inch gap between the flex plate and the converter. So we're like, this ain't right. We can't, this totally is not right. So out the transmission comes again. This is 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Transmission has to come out again. So we pull it all back out. We change out the converter. We put the old converter back in it, and we put it in because we knew that one clearance right. We get it all put back in. We get it all assembled. It's about 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. And after that, we trying to think what happened.
What people need to understand is like how hard it is to keep up with time.
Yeah.
Like there's no time relevance in this.
And don't quote me on my time. Don't quote me on my days and times, because I might be talking about Friday when it was really Saturday.
Right.
I honestly, like I'm not even joking. It was all a blur because we were, we just drove. Keep in mind, we just drove from Washington State. Yeah. So we're sleep deprived already going into this event.
Scotty, quit saying stuff, man. It's all bad.
That's what happened. Okay, thanks, Scotty. Scotty got me to the next step. Okay, so we get the transmission, everything in. We start firing up. We start driving it, right? We take it down the road and on our way back, we got a phone call that says there's oil everywhere. We're like, what the heck? What's going on? We look under the car, and I am not even joking, y'all. The rear main seal blew out.
Dude.
And this is Saturday. This is Saturday about 3 in the afternoon. The rear main seal blew out. Oh. We're like, come on. And I'm thinking in my head, like, when we put it up in there, did we mess up the seal? And we can't mess up the seal. There's no way you can.
There's a flywheel in the way of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So but we're thinking we just doomed ourselves. Transmission has to come out again. Pull the transmission out, and this is okay. This is Friday. Yeah, this is Friday. We pull the transmission out because the rear main seal went out, and all night Friday we're fighting this. And this is when like people started coming into the event. So people are coming in at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and people are coming up to us. How can we help you? Hustling Horsepower. Nick comes over and he's like, "Hey man, how can I help you?" And we also had the car on the lift at this point too. So we have a group of people around us to help us, and so we're figuring it all out. We get the new rear main seal. We put that in, and and we got the transmission back in. It's now 4:00 in the morning. And we're like, whew, thank gosh we got that done. You know what I mean? That was crazy. We take a 3 or 4 hour nap. We wake up and we go to start the car, and the rear.
Hang on, real quick. So, this is now Saturday night. Saturday night at 4 a.m. the day before the event, right? Because we started on Sunday.
Saturday night, 4 a.m. Yes.
So Friday night you don't go to bed till 2. You're back up at 4. Saturday it's again 2 a or 3 a.m.
Saturday was 4 a.m.
Yep. 4 a.m. So you've been up since 5 till now 4 a.m. again. Okay, I wanted to catch everybody up to understand the story longer.
Like I said, I apologize.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I'm with you, man.
It was all a blur, man.
Yep.
So we get the transmission back in, and come to find out the rear main seal is still leaking. And I'm thinking of every possible way. How can this rear main seal still be leaking? We put goop all over it. It's like we fixed the issue. Why it blew out? Like, how can this still be happening? And then some other issues happened. So Saturday, we determined that we sat around. And we determined that there was no possible way that we could fix what needed to be fixed, because the converter was showing signs of issues. The rear main seal was leaking again. The team was extremely exhausted. There was just it was not right for me as quote unquote team captain to push my team to pull the transmission out again. It's literally, for someone as inexperienced as I am pulling that transmission out, it's a 4.5, 5 hour job to pull it out and put it back in. So I just couldn't put that on my team anymore. We had tons of support. We had tons of help. The lift was there. The portable car lift guy was there to help us, but I just couldn't put it on my team any more to pull the transmission out again.
Yep.
So, so you guys see the comment there, Tab and his friend, I forgot what his name was, but anyways, they came over and helped us reinstall the new airbag. That's a whole nother story, but they helped us reinstall the airbag on the truck suspension. I put out an SOS. What was that? Saturday morning? No. Friday night, I put out an SOS on Facebook. Brett and Tab. I put out an SOS on Facebook that said basically, hey, you know what? I got my hands full here. I need all hands on deck. I need people to help us. We are struggling. We are trying to make this event, and I need help. That was a really hard thing for me to do, but Tab and Brett came over. They installed the air spring on the truck, my tow truck, because we already hung our hat up. We already said, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. We can't push our team any further. So we were just going to do sick ward. Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of the story. Things just went haywire. It was out of our control, but we are the car, just to get you guys up to speed. The car is put back together. The car is running and driving. that Monday morning while you guys were running down the track, we actually shipped the car back to Washington and had it back to Washington by Thursday. And there was a new transmission and converter and everything sitting there waiting for us. So the car's back together. We are looking to be at TX2K.
Oh, cool.
And we're going to, try to.
Dang, that's in a couple 3 or 4 weeks, and that's the weekend of my birthday.
Oh, all right.
Huh. Now that I know I got a friend down there, I may need to come see you.
Yep. We'll be in Houston at TX2K, but I know that was a mouthful, but the struggles of what we went through really showed the environment of a drag and drive event. We had more people helping us than we knew what to do with, and we actually had to push people back and I know the 17-inch wrench or the 17 mil wrench was right here. Where'd it go? Because people were just grabbing wrenches back and forth. But
working on stuff.
It was great.
So what was the problem with the rear main seal? Did you ever figure out why?
Yeah. So the issue with the rear main seal is we had a brand new billet block, and the dowels on the billet block were about, that much right there too long. And so when we put the rear main seal on, it just didn't sit flush on the block. So we ended up having to shave down those dowels to get it to sit flat.
Man, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
It ended up being something easy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But dude, that's what we talked about on the other one was once you're especially with Dave, who's not in here right now, but Scott and Bob kind of were probably in the background a little bit of the conversation we had about what we thought was ignition spark. Once your brain is in, oh my gosh mode and trying to fix something, you can't think, you can't see from outside looking in, because if we had been outside looking in, we'd have been, well, try these fuel filters that are literally right here on the side of this carburetor. So it's easy,
right.
But we couldn't think about that. So, Rob and Chrissy, did you guys have any problems during the week?
Nothing too crazy. Our biggest one, haven't had a hood on the car in 20 years. So the hood on it after we left Bradenton that first day, it was running a little bit hotter than I wanted it to be. So that was pretty much the biggest. So got to that checkpoint, leaving Bradenton, pulled the hood off the car and stuck it on the trailer, and that's pretty much where it lived for the rest of the week.
That car's not used to having a hood, so it's what is all this?
Blocking a lot of airflow and keeping a lot of heat in there. So
yeah. So how do you fix that? A bigger fan setup? You going to do some ducting? How do you? I mean, I guess if it's going more street car, but it probably won't be an issue. But
just hang the hood back on the wall where it's been.
Dang. It sure did look super cool with the hood on there, though.
I got another bigger radiator could end up in it. Could help, but just a lot of heat with the turbos and the piping, everything in there. Just keeps a lot of heat.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, then the only other little issue we had that almost turned into a big issue when we're heading into Gainesville, driving up the road, cruising along in the left lane. It was a little 2-lane highway there. All of a sudden, a headlight turned on coming head on at us. In the left lane. I'm like, is that a car? I'm like, that's a car in our lane. It's hit the blinkers, whipped and I cranked the wheel. And right as I cranked the wheel and we whipped over, they went flying by us, driving the wrong way down the highway.
Gee, was it, you said it was a motorcycle? Or is it
it was a car.
They had no lights, no nothing. All of a sudden, they just turned their lights on.
It was just one headlight.
And they had one headlight.
Thank God they were warning you. They're like, hey, get out of my lane.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a split highway. You had to have known you were going the wrong direction.
Oh, my God, that's crazy.
I'm assuming they're probably a little bit drunk.
Yeah, they're making it home tonight from the night before. John Sollers, they're saying that takes a lot of determination. I'm sure he's talking about Danny. To stay on task that long is just hard. Yeah, I can't even imagine. And then get right there to the end. The cool thing is that car's back running now though, so that's going to be neat. Let's see what else we got here. Everybody knows the struggles we had with the fuel filter. Literally, you couldn't blow through the front carb fuel filter. It was so clogged. It was the only part on the car that Justin did not change from the previous setup. So we got all that fixed. We got to meet one of the coolest dudes ever that helped us. I mean, he's the one that figured it out after we had put an all new distributor in that car. And there can't be a harder car to put a distributor in than maybe that one. So, but Justin had it done in about 20 minutes. And, there was room for one set of hands in there. I basically pulled plugs and undid some screws, and then he in and out, and it was good together. Red Hat says, we put together a hell of a team and did everything they could to get Danny going. Yep.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Red Hat and his dad being there, our morale was so low. I'm not even gonna lie. Our morale was so low that I would have threw in the towel Friday. Yep. I would have just hung up the hat for the simple fact that, like I said, I never even done that stuff. I never even pulled the transmission out of that car before. It was a fresh build. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And so, with Red Hat and his dad there to give us that push that we need in the morale, the pickup, that's what got us into the tech lanes.
That's awesome. Sorry, Dave. I pulled you off screen so everybody was a little bit bigger. They didn't see you pop back on there.
No problem. Sorry, I had to eat dinner.
Hey, that's all right. Don't ever let it happen again.
I had to save my marriage before I go out of town again.
Yeah. We were talking about
we're cooking dinner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm hungry now. I had a granola bar between the other live stream and this one, so I'm gonna need to eat after this. If my wife will still let me in the house. I was home all day with the kids, and we didn't do anything. Didn't even fold a load of laundry. It was rough. I worked. I mean, I was like doing my regular day job stuff, but you got time to fold some laundry. I put some stuff in the washer. That's about it. Anyway, so we were talking about struggles from the week, and you had mentioned earlier you had something go on, but I don't remember what it was.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I closed the gap up on a spark plug on the way down. That's really the only thing that happened to me the whole time. No big deal. I put a set of plugs and wires on it at the track. No biggie. Had a
he'll have struggles next time.
Yeah, I'll probably have to put a transmission and everything I'm putting on it to go fast. I'll probably have to fix.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right, Daniel. I missed all your story. I apologize.
That's okay. It was a mouthful, but we didn't even make it into day one of sick week.
Wow.
But you guys tried. I mean, dude, you can't say I don't know of anybody else that tried as hard as you guys. So,
but that's how this whole event is, and it's the challenge too, because one time everything can go perfect, nothing goes wrong. And when I say perfect, okay, I'm not worried about racing. I'm not worried about winning my class, but everything goes good. Nothing broke down. We made it through. That last day you break the beams. What a feeling that is.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I just made it. But then on the other extreme, you've got like Daniel's case, you're doomed on day one, and it's like you're in quicksand. You're trying to beat everything up. You're doing everything you can to make it right. So I totally understand, and my heart goes out to you. And I didn't even realize that went on. I didn't know that you had that kind of struggle. So hats off to you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't know how
out for another one. And
he's gonna
time of your life.
Fucking redemption, bro.
Yeah, that's what TX2K is. We're coming out swinging for that event, and
Texas 2K.
We are, we're gonna talk our way through 1.0 and try to get in there. But we have a car that is competitive and that is going to come out swinging. But a fresh build, 38 hours from Washington to Florida, nonstop, lack of sleep, pull the transmission 4 hours.
Not 4 hours to the other. I mean, that's
yeah.
You probably had the longest haul besides Richard from Canada.
Yeah,
he was
and the one dude from the Yukon.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody come from Alaska?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Or is the Yukon in Canada?
I think it's Canada.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he trailered his stuff, but I think he was in the. He wasn't the dude in the DSM, was he? No, he was in that 442. Sorry.
I didn't know about that guy. That's the first time I've heard of that.
So, but anyways, we'll come out swinging at TX2K, and then our next event after that's going to be 1.0. And
yeah, well, let's talk about that for a second, because the plan for 1.0 is to show up. Here is what we have decided to do, and I'm going to put it out into the world because I said it last week too. We're just going to show up. Like, we're going to try and register. I hope to get invited back with the amount of sick week coverage that I'm putting out, across social media. I mean, we've built, I think we posted 200 and something Instagram posts tagging sick week since the start of it. But if we don't get invited back, I've told Justin, plan for it, bud. We're going. Because, listen, there were 350 spots, 341 cars teched in. Like, there were still 9 cars that could have got in. Like,
and I feel bad because we took up someone's spot that could have potentially been in there, but it was a milestone for us to even tech in. So I feel bad that we potentially took someone else's spot, but that was. I have to be a little bit selfish in that aspect. We had to tech in.
Yeah. I mean, like here's the thing. Like, there were 9 spots available. Somebody could have taken if they.
Right.
Well, the same thing with us.
Told, if you want to show up with one of these events, you're probably going to get in because at the last minute somebody's going to drop out or break, and they'll let you in.
Well, they were
I
telling
was on
us
the waiting list, and you were too, right, Scott?
Yeah, they were telling us to go ahead and check in. We could have got in, but I didn't bring slicks, and they changed that rule this year that we didn't have slicks, and I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. I didn't plan
bring
on
slicks
it,
either, and I could have raced, but I was like, I'm just not ready. If my shit's not fast enough, I'm just like, that's boring to me. I'd rather drink beer and watch and film and get covered.
Yeah.
Content.
So I'm not a very good racer. My reaction times suck. It's not what I'm there for. I'm there to talk to people and get stories and have fun.
Yeah.
So anything like that. If we don't get in registered, I'm always going to get on the wait list, because then you'll know 100%. But if you don't get on the wait list and you got the car to go, just show up. Like, here's the deal. A lot of times people use that as the crutch to, oh man, I didn't get in.
Me.
Yeah, like, dude. Well, and Danny, that's why I love you, bro. Like, because, like, Danny does it. Like, he don't talk about it. There ain't no, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if he puts it in the world, it's going to happen some way or another. So
that's awesome.
That's it's pretty cool. And that's why I love having you on, because I hope you help inspire more folks to just get out and wrench on your stuff. Because that's why we're really doing
the motive. That's why we're out here. So,
well, I'll tell you, we put 10,000 miles on the cart last year, and then this year, I've got to put a trans in it, but we'll put 5,000 or 6,000, 7,000 miles on it again going to events. That's what they're built for. No, during race week, I'll put more miles on it during that 1 week than we will at any one time during the rest of the year.
Yeah, agreed with that. Mine, we beat on it here, but that 800 miles we just did was more than I think it got last year. So,
yeah.
I did 2,000 miles in 1 week, and I'm about to do another 500-mile round trip.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
But that's just a stock 280. I mean, it's nothing. I'm not driving a race car around. It's a future race car.
Yeah, but it's something that you've worked on. So that kind of, that goes towards your mechanical skills.
Yeah. I do want to say hey to Jason Schaefer. I posted it up all ago, but dude, I love you, man. Love you, bro.
What's up, Jason?
Listen, y'all, I want to tell a story real quick, and I've told it a whole lot to anybody that will listen. But Jason let me ride in the chicken coop, big block blower, coupe, 31, 32 coupe, whatever it is, something like that. Y'all, I literally sent my wife a text message, said, I need one of these so bad. And she said no, which is a fair statement. But we're rolling like 50 miles an hour, and somebody comes up and they're taking pictures, and Jason gets giddy, I guess is probably the best word to say. And he's like, watch this. And he like mats this thing listen, if it takes off at 50 miles an hour and blows the tires off pulling a trailer, I'm in, bro. I'm in. So I had the most fun that week with that car, and it was like a 30-minute ride. We rode to lunch together, which I
that
think
dude's
was
awesome. He came by the house the other day. We went to lunch last Sunday.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Him and his wife were coming through to go to a funeral, so I got to meet his wife, and they're great people. I mean, just fantastic people.
Yep.
Yeah, Jason, I need my alternator back.
How does he got it from Reggie?
Well, it's at Jason's house up on the shelf.
Oh,
So
Nice.
Reggie take it off when he loaded it on the trailer?
yeah, he loaded it on the trailer and left it at Jason's house so I can get it back. I was like, that's my backup for Rocky Mountain Race Week. I got to get it back.
Yep. I do want to say thanks to Danny. He's popping out to eat. I really appreciate him coming on. If you guys haven't seen the other live streams with him, you need to do that. He's also on one of the podcasts. You can find all of our podcasts, Narcoleptic Customs, on any of your favorite podcast site. He has a great story. And really, when he says he's not really a car guy, he's telling the truth. Like he's not a huge car guy. He just is literally living the dream, and it motivates everybody around him. I do want to say Kimmy Solers here says a great idea for a mobile mechanic with a trailer that acts as a rolling garage. There was a guy running around, I feel like, that had a little bit of he could fix stuff. He had some tools on the thing. But what I think we're going to do is I'd love it if we would have welded the axle up on Justin's car as we drove through the week. But we didn't want to break the Ford 8-inch. And you know how that goes. We don't want to tear stuff up in a spot where we can't fix it.
Can you put a mouse spool in those? I don't know anything about the 8.8.
Well, it's not an 8.8; it's an 8-inch. So it's like
it's like a
7.5-inch GM car, or like a S10 rear axle. You know, they suck, and there's 25 splines, and the axles are about this big around and brittle. Yeah. So
now with the mobile mechanic, doesn't that kind of infringe on our rules?
Well, so I think
not if you're out and about.
Yeah, if you make your pass or you're on the road to the track, I think you can still work on stuff. So, because you can get help then too, you know what I mean?
Right.
You just can't have Lincoln Locker.
Yeah, like Tom Bailey was hunting a welder like the first day.
Yeah.
Well,
Tom Bailey needs a welder. I'm like,
anybody can do that.
Right when he left the track.
Yep. Yeah, we thought it'd be really fun to.
Hey, Jason, you should have got a lot of money for that thing.
Yeah. Jason said he sold the alternator off the shelf.
Also, Jason, you want to give Angel pets for you?
Yeah.
Skyla says, "Will you give Angel pets for her?"
Is she the one that painted Angel's?
Yeah, they did. They painted
Angel's
awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Angel got to play with my Bailey dog Sunday when she came over, and
nice.
My lab's 2 years old and not very social. She hadn't been socialized too much, and she did not know how to take Angel. Angel was perfect with her. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
She was just Bailey was just like cowered down. It's like, I don't know
how do I
play? What to do with this dog.
Yeah.
My dog goes. We've got a pond in our front yard, and Bailey went and jumped in the pond and just turned around, and looked at Angel, was like, "You gonna come in or what?"
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Jason said Angel's missing you girls. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so we talked about broken stuff. What went right for you guys? And then while I'm asking that for you guys, I'm gonna pop out and go take a leak outside real quick. So y'all tell what went right.
Make sure you turn the mic off.
Yeah, take about 6 minutes to tell that, because I'm gonna have to find it and it's cold.
Take about 6 minutes to tell what went right. Wow, I can't get that up.
Well, other than freezing cold camping, camping was we camped at every track and it was great. I really enjoyed that.
I owe y'all some propane.
Yeah.
Oh man, Gainesville was 27 degrees when we woke up. That was like the worst.
Yeah, we went through four or five cans of propane that night, just keeping the heater running.
Terrible.
So
yeah, we got up, made breakfast, eggs and bacon right there, right outside Gainesville. It was actually really tasty.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Those breakfasts were right on.
Yeah, and people, I think everybody kind of I don't know. They don't want to do the camp out thing, but I tell you what, if they're paying $200 and $600 a night for a hotel, I'm still on the low budget end of this race week stuff and
I
driving.
spent $0 on hotels, and we had a blast. And
Yeah.
it really wasn't that bad. I mean,
They want to get
3 girls.
Well, yeah.
no,
that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't have any facilities when we were camping. Thank goodness we were men.
Yeah, well,
Right.
we did have porta johns, but
And I have a portable toilet that somebody had to use the Advanced Auto.
Advanced Auto, portable toilet.
what
yeah.
went right? Yeah. We're talking about what went right that night. Didn't it?
That went right.
So, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But anyway, I just had a blast. I think everything went good. Even when things did go a little bit sideways, it was all good. So we had a blast. So it's up to you, Miss Christie.
I mean, we really didn't have any problems, so pretty much everything went right.
Just trying to get the new
Trying to get all the new stuff dialed in was the most difficult part, and only getting to make one pass at each track. It was like, okay, well, so then we'll change this and hit the next track and see what that does. But so that was pretty much, the only issues that we had was, so everything was just kind of, it was right.
Y'all came by me Saturday. I was coming in. I was driving down. I drove the El Camino all the way from Georgia, and y'all came by me around, maybe Tampa or something. I can't remember where it was exactly. Y'all came by me like just booking it.
Not me.
Yeah, I saw it was like a yellow right by. I was running like 70.
I think that cruise control's got a mind of its own in that truck sometimes. I just look down and it's doing 95.
That was us.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah,
My mirrors are only like this big, and I was the whole trip I was expecting to see a bunch of people, and I didn't. And then once I got into Florida, I saw a few, and I saw y'all and another guy with a little red, maybe 63, 65 Nova. Y'all two came by me at different times, skinning it back.
Kim,
At that point, I was tired of driving, so
I hear you.
was that? Then on the way home, he made me drive.
Sweet.
I've never hauled a trailer before.
I was struggling on the way back. I mean, I was struggling to keep myself awake.
Well, since it rained out on the beach day, the girls didn't get to enjoy the beach. So Saturday we should have left at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Instead, we got up, went to the beach, so we didn't hit the road until about 1 o'clock. I had to be to work Monday morning. So,
oh wow!
And how many hour drive is it?
If
if you don't ever stop, it's like 27 hours is what it said.
Where y'all at?
Colorado.
Oh wow!
Now you guys know how we feel when we come out to Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Yeah.
See, we stop at Reggie's house out in Arkansas and stay the night, or help
And put his car together.
put his car together in one night so he can make it. But and then we run the next 12 hours out to Rocky Mountain Race Week. So yeah, it's a 2-day trip, definitely.
Yeah. On the way out there, it was almost 3 days because we didn't leave till late. And stopped for a little while and
left after work on Thursday afternoon. And tried getting on here for the live feed. That didn't work out too good. And made it to Topeka, pulled into a truck stop, slept for a few hours, and got back after it.
Yeah, you guys were in and out pretty bad, and the shake from the icy roadway was like it was pretty crazy.
I do remember that.
It was going to be a gamble either way, being on the road and depending on where you guys were.
If it worked out, it'd been cool, but
swing and a miss. Hey, we'll know that next time. We'll do it beforehand. That's funny. Here Jason Schaefer says we should all meet at Niceville on the 6-week trip next year, and ended up Rich Guido and his dad and Kyle stopped there for a little bit to hang out with them on their way through. So we'll definitely have to do that. We are just so Jason knows, we're going to like the panhandle of Florida, Alabama, all that kind of stuff sometime for vacation this year. So we'll have to swing by and say hey and hang out for a couple hours maybe.
Yeah,
So,
we're right off of I-10,
Yeah.
and Jason's right south. His Niceville's about 18, 20 miles right south of us.
oh, perfect.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all in the same area. And like I said before, as people are coming through, my shop's right on the I-10. If you guys need anything, we're more than welcome to give you help or got a lift, welders, that kind of stuff.
That's
Planning
great.
on coming down. Oh shit! Hang on.
Hey, if everybody was paying attention, that happened to me on Friday night. So
Hear that?
that's the fun times of hanging out in the shop doing these. That's too funny. Yeah. I hope we don't have to use your shop in the family rig, but definitely next time. I think next year for Sick Week, I'm gonna plan to ride with folks. I mean, obviously I'll ride with Justin during the week, but if Aaron and Tyler go back, I mean, I think I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna see if they'll let me ride down and back with them. That was a fun trip. Kind of take the whole experience in there. So.
Yeah, we definitely got to go for Sick Week next year because it's just so close for us.
Yeah.
It's like we had no clue that we could actually have a drag and drive event here and not have to drive 2 days away to get one. So, and being it was wintertime, for us, it was pretty mild. Waking up at 30 degrees, that was kind of tough, but it's not like you guys below zero and you can't drag race. At least we can get 10 months out of the year of drag racing, down here. So, you guys are more than welcome to come down and we'll go racing. So.
Yeah, when we left out there, heading out, coming home, like, this shit's stupid. It's like, I ain't coming back here. Ain't doing it again. It's too far. This is dumb. Now it's been a week. It's like, yeah, I'll go back next year.
That's right.
My driving.
Well, now that I slept a little bit, and I mean, we're running on empty before we left, and then it was freezing cold before we left. We're loading the car up. It was, I think, 11 below when I was in snowing. When I was trying to load the car on the trailer. It's like we just got hit with storms right before we left. We got back, had a couple of nice days, and hit with storms again. So everything added up. It's like, yeah, this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I got plenty of room for race car storage if anybody needs to drop one off pre-storms if they're ever coming through on an event like that. Seriously, you need to come. If you're like, hey, shit, it's going to be a blizzard, you can come drop one off and leave it beside my shop. I got 3 acres. I mean, I got plenty of room to drop a trailer if anybody ever needs to do that for real.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, next year, hopefully be able to take more time off for it, but keep doing more and more of these events. It's like, here before long we get fired at some point because we keep taking more and more time off to go do them.
Well, Dad, I can make some money by selling dresses.
There you go.
Yep.
Entrepreneur in the making.
That's what we're talking about.
So whatever you have to do to help support the race car.
Honey, we're going to need you to help spend your money on mommy and daddy's stuff. That's what I need to get my kid to work on. Hey, listen, I'm going to need y'all to spend some brownies out here.
And say she has no interest in going fast, so she just wants nice cruisers. So she's probably the smartest one out of us because hers will be cheap.
Yeah. Cruisers just got to run. That's all it's got to do is just drive.
Hey, Danny, I can't pronounce his last name, but he was talking about camping. There was we were 5 of us. We took a tent. There's some, next year I may put a pop-up roof style over top of our Freedom trailer, so we're going to do like an exoskeleton and put a pop out on top of that. So we have that, but I think it's a little too tight for me and this guy to sleep next to each other. It says 2-person, but I don't think it says 2 persons are something. Yeah, we need a 4-person. It's on the cold nights, I guess it could have kept us warm, but no, I don't want to get that close.
There's big spoon, little spoon.
Yeah. I'm taller, so I've got to be the big spoon. So, but I had a blast camping. You have to throw up a tent. We're right there outside the gates. But hey, when you're spending that kind of money on hotel rooms and you can go out camping and stuff. Again, you guys had kids with you. I totally get that because I have 3 daughters. So that wouldn't have been a good time. I don't think my wife would
taking my 2 boys to Valdosta tomorrow.
Yeah, so my wife would already quit and went and got a hotel. You can stay here by yourself. Yeah. So, but the camping thing was awesome. I had a good time with it, and the guys that we were with, we all there's 5 of us out there. So, Reggie, Jason, Dave joined us, and us too. So, You know, we had our if you didn't see, we had our little pumpkin tiki fire pit.
I
with
love
us.
that.
So we threw the pre-made logs in the trailer, so we had some for us, and we had that at night. Plus, we had heaters, propane.
Yeah, they only last till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. Make dairy. Okay, great. Like,
Yeah, big spoon.
I knew he was going to give us crap for it. So.
No, the only thing that would have been nice is if the tracks would have thrown like one porta potty out in the parking lot.
Yeah, or just let us
And
in.
you couldn't get in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So yeah. And we had a blast, and you can camp out. You can make it happen, and we did. And we had a blast.
Did it for $0.
Yep.
Yeah.
People are like, $1,500 to $1,600, $1,800 for hotels. Nope.
Yeah.
Dude, I could buy a pop-up camper for that. Seriously.
I don't know if I'd want to drag it 800 miles or 2,000 miles. I don't know if I'd want to drag a $1,500 pop-up
Well,
camper.
there was a guy that had a pop-up camper that he
talked to him.
pulled behind his race car. I thought that was awesome.
I talked to him and I said, "Do you have any problem going through tech with that?" And he said, "No, because it's a cubic inch rule. It's like 120 cubic inches of storage or whatever. And inside, when it's all folded down, when you open the little tiny door on the side, there's really not much storage inside that thing." So he was like, they gave me some push at first, and then I showed them, and they were like, "Yeah, you're good."
Yeah.
So,
those dudes they're so cool. I hung out with them at one of the checkpoints on 2.0 last year, and they had been run off the road, and they had a big trailer they were carrying. Rob probably remembers this, but they were driving the blue LS Turbo Ford truck, and they had the blue toolbox trailer on the back, flipped the trailer, like scraped down the whole side of the trailer. So those guys were pulling the camper this year, and it's crazy. The first day they were unloading, and I was like, "Man, let's do a quick 60-second walk around." And they were like, "Okay, let us get the whole thing set up." And then I didn't see them again the whole week, like long enough to where we could get it. Stephen Narks here. I don't know if he knows his big brother enough, but he says we're dragging a pop-up behind the MG on Race Week 2.0. Dude, I don't know. I kind of like hotel rooms, man. I'll tell you. But I will tell you this.
Waste of money.
If we do drag a pop-up behind the MG, the pop-up will be bigger footprint-wise on the ground than the MG will be.
Yeah.
The car is so tiny. We're going to get to know each other in ways we didn't know we needed to. So
you can sleep like 9 in a pop-up, or the right pop-up.
Well, I was talking about being in the MG, like literally our shoulders touch in that car. So being there for a week.
Corvettes are the same way, man.
Yeah. we're both well over 200, and we're sitting there. It's not much room, and so it gets kind of tight. Yeah,
it's always a good time. So that pretty much runs me through all the questions except for the last one, which was, like, will you do anything differently for the next trip than you did for this? It sounds like Scott and Bob are going to do a different tent setup. I mean, Dave, you got anything different you got planned? And then Rob for you guys?
Well, if I make it to 1.0, I'm bringing a pop-up. That's my plan, so I can bring my family with us, but it's going to have an air conditioner and a generator, quiet generator.
Yeah.
And the El Camino is going to have some balls by then, I hope.
That's awesome. Rob, what do you got, guys? What are you going to do differently for the next one? I mean, you guys have a pretty good program set up.
Hopefully bring a car that weighs about 1,300 pounds less.
That'll help a little bit too.
Yeah, I'll help a whole lot.
Yep.
But we'll see. I don't know if we'll get it done for 1.0 or not. See how finishing hers goes and everything. And if that all works out good and I got time, start robbing stuff off Old Yeller and stuffing it in the south. Put it together.
That's cool. So you want to tell us a little bit about that? I mean, that's really all the questions. So now we're just going to freestyle into some stuff here. You want to tell us about the Falcon? I don't guess I've seen much on it that I remember.
Picked up a 4-door wagon. That's one I really want to build, but I got stupid ideas for it. So figure that one's going to take a little while, but got a little 65 coupe, a little Falcon Futura. And somebody put a cage in at one point. They cut the roof off of it. They actually did a decent job of it, but they cut the roof off to put a cage in it. So looking at it, I'm thinking it's just going to stay topless. Gonna make a roadster out of it.
Wow.
And then do a 25.3 cage in it. And that way it's certified to 6.0. And Still,
Are you watching her back there?
She's shaking her head. No.
That's great.
Yeah, she did.
It'll be so much easier to get in and out of if it's got no roof though.
yeah, because it'll only be a 2-seater too. So,
Oh, that's why she's saying no.
but still, leaf spring, radial car, same deal, and probably put this motor and setup in it and try to go fast.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that car, yeah, just like you said, I mean, that's 1,300 pound
it'd be
flighter for
1,300
sure.
pound flighter. Yeah, it'd be 2,500 pound car.
Yeah, and then just throw a big single on the old Yeller setup and cruise it around, ice cream and burnouts.
Cruiser out of it, or who knows? Maybe put a conventional gasser setup in it. So go back and spank the gassers with a conventional setup so they can't cry about the turbos in the LS.
Yes, I knew I liked you.
There, it's a gasser, might as well keep it that way. And
hopefully they fix some of the rules on some of that stuff, like the gasser and the hot rods, and they had some goofy stuff, I think, on some of those rules.
I'm not a big fan of the drag week rules and everything they had going over there. That's why we ended up in unlimited iron, because kind of the only class we'd fit in, unless we wanted to go do the index classes. And I don't have any fun doing that. I just want whatever I can make it go. That's what it goes. If it goes slow, we go slow. If it goes fast, we go fast.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we were after day one. So, we fixed the carbs on day 2. It went 1.3 seconds faster. We were like, this is a struggle. So that was a bit of a problem. So, yeah, next time we'll be more consistent. I think that's probably our only plan.
He should have brought that truck, although it smoked the transmission when he took it out Saturday night. So, Justin,
dude,
truck's awesome.
Well, and that's what he was talking about up here in the comments a little bit ago, was bringing the C10 on Sick Week 2023. And so, he asked me early on what I would rather take, and I told him the Model A just because of the content I wanted to get during the week. I didn't want to have something we'd be working on. And, at the end of the day, it was going to be, we would have had the trans out and been doing what Mike Corsilli did, which was rebuild his in the middle of a parking lot there. Kimmy Sollers asked, what track or location did y'all like the best? We can run back through that real quick. It is early. We talked quite a bit earlier about it. I think it was probably a 20-minute mark or something like that. If you guys want to run through that again for the folks that are just popping in.
Well, I mean, probably we agreed South Georgia was probably the best, but again, we didn't get to run down the track. But
I like the fact that it was set up well enough that they still had space for trucks and trailers for the race that was following us at 4 p.m. Without crowding us out.
Yeah, we were worried about that the night before. We were camping, and they started piling in. I was like, oh, boy.
Yeah, we were out the gate camping, and then here comes these RVs coming in, and we're like, oh, there's another race right after. It's at 4 o'clock. They started opening the gates for those while we were getting ready to leave, So it was well organized, and it wasn't chaotic like it could have been.
Yeah.
Could have done without the manure, but it is what it is.
That smell was just awful.
They just happen to be spreading freaking manure and churning it into the field next door.
Yeah, just happened to be there for the right time.
Right now, the girl was like, Mom, what is that?
Hey, that's just like two guys
we were pitted right by the road.
It wasn't no different for us. Lactose intolerant over here. He's like, hey, let's stop and get a milkshake. I'm like, no.
Yeah, Scott and Bob looked at each other. They pulled in the track. Like, was that you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, dude, man, do you eat more ice cream?
All right. Hey, this is a great question from Jason. And really, I said it early on because you guys are royalty, just because you guys bring the whole family, and we love that about it. So, any advice on bringing the whole family?
Just bring
for
them.
These kind of events.
Well, like we said, the very first
they had no interest in going.
Yeah,
they went, and now all year long as they do is win race week.
That's cool.
Yeah, yep. So it was one of those things. I couldn't have been madder at the first one that he did, and he was gone at the shop all night long, and this is stupid. I'm like, but fine, we'll go. And it was the best decision I ever made. The kids great. Absolutely loved it. So, it was all worth it in the end. And now, of course, we all go out to the shop and work on the stuff, kids included. Like, I don't know if
Yeah,
you've
now they have
seen-
fun. They're willing to come out.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
it's
cool.
one of those things.
So-
I mean, you just got to try it.
Yeah.
It
So-
is
so the
definitely
question
not-
I'm
is-
glad you're having fun with it. I'm glad you being a
Oh,
wife
yeah.
is having fun with the family with that. So hats off to you guys for that.
Yeah, my 9-year-old keeps asking when she's going to get to go, and I really think after talking to your girls,
When
I
Dad
think
quits
it's
being
time.
mean and brings her.
Do what?
I said when her dad quits being mean and brings her, instead of going to have all the fun for himself.
Yep, that's right.
7? Or was I 8 at the time? I think I was 8.
When you went the first time,
Yeah.
6.
6.
You were 6 years old
2019.
at the first one that we did.
No.
Here's the other thing: give them a job to do.
I like jacking up the car.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we pull in, she jacks the car up. The other girls start swapping the car over, switch tires over.
Cool.
We go up, look at the tracks, see what's going on everywhere. We come back, they got the car back on the ground. It's all switched over, ice in the intercooler, pin out of the chute. Everything's ready to go.
Fun when everybody's got a job, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's one of those things. Make them feel a part of it,
Sure.
and they have that much more fun doing it because
Yeah.
they get that, to be included, and it makes them have a lot more fun doing it. So.
Well, that's awesome because, like my daughter's being around the shop all the time. I know that they're traveling back and forth to college and they have a flat tire, and they don't have to depend on somebody else helping them. So amen to that, teach them to where they don't have to depend on anybody else. And the less time they're on the side of the road, the less time they're at Target. So amen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the way guys are these days anymore, it's like their boyfriend's gonna be calling them, how do I change my tire?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kimmy's saying, "Way to go, girls!" And then John says, "That's a great idea, Rob." Yeah, and probably talking about keeping them out of Target too. That's the struggle we have.
No, ours is stash money so they can go buy shirts and buy car parts, and that's what they look forward to doing too.
I want to buy my own Model A.
Nice.
There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Life goals right there.
Yeah, everybody wants to buy their own Model A. I don't know. I'm needing one in my life for sure, especially after riding in Jason's.
I want
You
a Model
gotta
A.
ride in Reggie's.
Yeah, you need to ride with Reggie.
No.
Man, I was going to. So the way it worked out, I was going to ride with Reggie, and then he was like, man, he was like packing some stuff in the trailer, moving it around. He's like, listen, I got about 1.5 inches of suspension travel, and I was like, okay. And so I was like, man, I'm like 220. He had the car kind of loaded down. I was like, So it left us with about 1/2 inch of suspension travel, and so
I rode with him through the pits at Valdosta last night, and I hold my camera. It was like this. I was like, it was just through the staging lanes back around to our where we were
It
camping.
is named
I was like,
appropriately.
how do you drive this thing? The windshield's like this big,
Yeah.
flat. You can't see anything out of it. It's crazy.
I just want to stand up out the roof, throw my helmet on, hold a flag, and go for a run standing out the roof.
Yes.
Like, running down the track.
That thing is
America.
watching that thing run. I'm like, how do you not pee yourself every pass you make?
Oh no!
Oh,
The
yeah.
first time I rode in, it was Rocky Mountain Race Pete, the first one we did, and he's like, "Man, you want to go for a ride?" I was like, "Sure." And it was all the racing was over. It was like the next morning or something. And he goes out in the grass and the slicks is doing donuts.
Yeah, with the slicks on. And I'm like, it's still dew on the grass. So
Yeah.
We were Live Oak. He did that big burnout through the sand pit,
Oh yeah.
bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
I got it on video. It's great.
Yeah, that thing's wild. We I had a camera on Justin's car as they raced last night, the last night of Bradenton, and
I had a camera in Reggie's.
he shifts into second and it lifts the wheels again. I'm like, man, that's got to be wild.
Well, ask Jason about that last pass in Kearney, or at the drag strip, Kearney, Nebraska, where his slicks were messed up and he took a left turn to the wall. Yeah.
Ooh, that's never fun.
No, Brian Mackey there says his daughter likes being part of the crew. She gaps and changes spark plugs and monitors the bottle pressure. Hey, that girl got with it. She was busy
That's awesome.
every time I saw them. Yeah, we did a little 60-second deal with him on the car, and she was working, I think, the whole time we were doing that, moving tires around, getting things ready to go. it's super cool to see that, you know, that next generation getting busy with it. So
I'm training a few myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that kid out here. She's gonna do the drag and drive event we host. She's gonna do it with me in the old truck. So she's gonna have to learn to put some radials on the old truck and all that kind of stuff. So
let her practice in the shop.
Yeah. They helped me dismantle the cart. I didn't let them touch the Sawzall. Maybe I need to let her get a hold of the Sawzall. Then they'll be really interested.
Right. Destruction.
Yes, that usually gets everybody motivated.
She's hilarious in the background.
So
You're about destruction.
Guys, what haven't we talked about? I mean, other than every other part of every other week of our life except for sick week.
All right, I want to throw out a little tip on our communications in the car. I have a loud car. All right, it's not as loud as Reggie's. Of course, his exhaust is pointed at his face. So I can't afford a $3,000 headset and radio and all that kind of stuff. So for those guys that are looking for something that's cheap and affordable,
yes, this is great right here.
I got on eBay. All right, and I got headsets for a Cessna intercom. Okay. Cessna intercom box and some headsets. I think I paid $150 for the whole set. It takes 9-volt batteries with microphone, with headsets and everything. And we wired it up. So it's an intercom, just like in a plane. Him and I were talking back and forth to each other.
And yours will do 4 people.
Yeah, 4 people can be on one box, and it takes 2 9-volt batteries. Okay. So you plug in less than $200 here. And we also have audio input, so wiring genius.
Add Bluetooth wired into it.
Yeah,
so
Bluetooth.
we can play music off our phones.
Off the phone, and we all ran CB radios, so we piped the external speaker into our headsets, so we're talking on the CB radio at the same time. Even being a loud car, we were able to talk back and forth. So no, it's not as fancy as the brand names out there, but for people that are racing on a budget, $200, you can have an intercom system, and especially with the loud cars.
Instead of me looking at her going, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she's screaming at me, I can turn over there.
If you've got somebody that just wants to talk your ear off, you may just have to say it's broken. It doesn't.
That's not me. I'll give them
No. I'm talking about Jason. If you're around with Jason.
Now this one, you'll be unplugging your headset because you'll take it down, pick back up. She'll still be going.
Yep.
So anyway, cheaper intercom system. They work great. It's worked with us for two race weeks now, drag events. So just a little tip for somebody who wants to put one together.
Well, and I think that's what we'll have to do for the MG, just because of the way the wind noise in that car is always brutal, and anything that's open cab like that. So we're gonna have to do that for sure.
I see the issue that we're having is because we're gonna have multiple vehicles.
Yeah,
is being able to talk car to car.
No, you can't. With this, you can run.
I had a CB, and I was talking to Scott and Bob from my El Camino.
Yeah.
We had Reggie had a CB, Jason had a CB, David had a CB, and we had a CB. So even we got a little separated, we could always holler and find out what happened.
Now, if you don't want to run CB in your car, you can always still hook up to the little
family radio service, like the little radios you get from Walmart.
Yeah, and you can hook the speaker jack into that circuit, so you can just talk on the mic like this, but you can hear your audio into your headset.
Oh, wow.
Reggie really has to yell, and we can hardly ever understand him. But
Jason, after a while, was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just taking this
out. His radio had issues. It was, I've got
35 years old.
35 years old sitting there in the garage.
45 years old. Yeah, it was.
That's a great tip, man. I mean, we were having that conversation one day at one of the tracks, and we were looking, they were like $800 for just a basic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, "There's no way. There's no way
eBay,
I can do that."
Aircraft intercoms, aircraft headsets. Yeah.
I've got a couple saved on my eBay already.
And you can get some.
If I put my 40 channel.
Say again.
If I put my 40 channel, I've got like a nice Galaxy CB that I used to drive a truck.
Right.
If I put that in, can I use that headset with that Galaxy?
Yeah. We plugged the speaker right into one of the microphone inputs of his intercom system.
Cool.
And then whenever the squelch would break, it would just play over all the headsets.
So it's just like a trucker with a headset on.
Yeah, basically.
But you also have the intercom between headsets
Yeah.
on the
That's
microphone.
cool.
Nice.
Slick.
But you can get the headsets. The ones that he's got are more like headphones, like Mike's wearing. But you can get some that are almost like hearing protection. So you won't hear the car.
Right.
You'll just hear the speakers. They're not as comfortable, but
The wind noise, just the wind noise from just having bad door seals and stuff in the El Camino. By the time I got back, I went to dinner with my family and I was yelling
Oh,
at the table, and they're all like, "You're talking really loud."
Like,
Everybody's looking at me in the restaurant.
yeah.
Yeah. The older I get, that kind of noise is what I hear more of than people talking. So like you just get all of that background
That's about all.
white noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've done cool stuff in your life. I haven't really done anything cool like that in my life. So fast cars and all that cool stuff.
I cut the radio up, to try to get above the wind noise, and then I cut it down every once in a while when I think I might hear a rod knocking or something. Was that a lifter? I hope.
Yeah.
With earmuffs on, all that, you can actually hear all that shit so much better.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear the tones change. You can hear the little stuff in the engine. Because then I'm like taking it off, going, like, what is that? It's like you hear it with the earmuffs on, but then you can't hear it. It's like, all right, I can't hear it.
That's awesome. Well, guys, what do we want to talk about? I feel bad. Like if the struggle I have is like, if I don't have notes, I'm like, I don't know how to freehand conversation here other than talking about
like this. We'll just
talk about people's cars, which is what I love to do. So, Scott, why don't you tell, like, are you going to keep taking pumpkin on stuff? You got other cars you're going to take?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, we could take other stuff, but I've got a big tire car that we run here locally that it's been to more car shows lately than drag races because I don't have time. But plus our local track just shut down management and all that kind of stuff. But I would love to take that but trying to get it registered and all that kind of stuff, trying to get it in there, then no, it wouldn't be feasible. But like I said, I've had that car since I was 19. It's going to keep getting faster, but my limit is right now. I've got
a cage.
Yeah, it doesn't have a cage. So that's the biggest thing. So the next step, I'm going to freshen it up before Rocky Mountain Race Week. I've got bigger heads, bigger cam for it. I've got a set of twin turbos for it. But it's one of those things that, okay, I got to get past the cage hurdle. I got to get past that. So it's going to get faster for us. We can run 11s with it, but I can't run faster than 1150. It's just a naturally aspirated 400, so I thought I could run an 11-second class until I got into altitude, and man, was that a kick in the balls. So I'm used to yeah, our DA down here is negative numbers a lot of times, and we went up there and hit 8,000 and 10,000, and I ran into 14s. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, we're getting faster, and we want to make it faster, but I just got to get past that cage hurdle, and then we can start laying more power to it.
That's awesome. We know what Rob and Christy are bringing. They're bringing the whole convoy of cars. Like, got 11 of them over there. They're gonna, every kid's driving a car.
Well, you got to think, my brother and his wife also do the drag and drive events.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they have that S10 Liv Moss and Musket Ball. I don't remember what year that is, though.
74 Dart.
74 Dart.
Oh, cool.
All the bare metal with the tractor flaps.
74 door. That's a big one, isn't it?
It's still the smaller.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, before they turned into the big old boats.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what year they.
Yeah, that's like the Swinger or the Scamp, right? Same body style.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think they made a Super B in like 77 or something like that. It was like a gigantic, ugly car.
Yeah.
This guy I went to school with had one. I was like, that's not a Super B, dude. But we all had mid-70s hoopties, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, we truly do make it a family affair.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I've brought my brother into it. I mean, like, and you know how it goes. That's the most time we've spent together as an adult away, as adults, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people, really griping about how they didn't get in and all that kind of stuff as far as the race. I know that was a hot topic and everybody was really going off about it, this and that. But I looked at it and I missed it. I didn't get in. I didn't get the race. So, but the chance to, since I've been to one before, I've gone to two of them, Rocky Mountain Race Week, of course. It's seeing the people that we were running with before. And helping out like Reggie and Jason, we knew them from the others.
Well, this time we got to see way more people get to go down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you get to be a spectator a little bit, and it's awesome to see the cars go down the track. When you're racing, you're busy with your car.
Yeah, you don't get to see any of it.
Yeah.
So I want to say to those guys that were mad and upset that they didn't get in, you should bring your car anyway. And I challenge you to make that road trip. Hey, none of that.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
But I challenge.
Entertainment.
Yeah, thanks for the puppet show behind your dad there. So, but I challenge anybody that gets mad, if you're going to show up, you've got your car there, make the trip anyway. Prove to us, you can make that 1,500-mile trip.
So show up, odds are good, you can get in, but if not,
That's why I did it.
have the best week.
I wanted to prove to myself I could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But
And I didn't know anybody, and I didn't tell anybody I was going. I just went.
Yeah, there was a strange guy. It looked like a homeless guy with that beard sitting off in the corner over there, and he's just looking at the cars. I'm like, hey, man, don't you have anybody to talk to? Come on over.
Come on over here. We got
Offered him candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that's where I draw the line. What's funny is if Dave hadn't been driving a cool car, it'd have been a whole different conversation.
Yep.
Was
off, homeless dude.
Yeah. Quit looking at that stuff.
no touchy.
I was so tired that morning because I stressed myself out just a little bit before I went, like packing and getting ready and making sure this 57-year-old vehicle could make a 2,000-mile trip.
Yep.
And so I got down to Bradenton. I went straight to the track, tried to catch the end of Streetcar Takeover, and it was raining like right before I got to the track. I was like, oh, I've got to be rained out. So I got like a half a mile from the track and it stopped raining and they were still running. I was like, oh man. So I got in, I watched a little of that and I set my tent up and I couldn't sleep. I stayed up to like 1:30 in the morning and they happened to pull in. Scott and Bob and Reggie and Jason, they all pulled in together like right in front of me on the other side of the pits basically. And I saw them pull in. I was like, I better go to sleep. I slept maybe 2.5, 3 hours max. People were firing cars up at like 5 in the morning. When you're in a tent, you hear everything. And which, so when I've met those guys, I don't even remember it almost because I was so tired. I think Scott walked over and I was sitting on the tailgate of the El Camino maybe. And he just started talking to me. He's like, hey, what's going on? You camping? Yeah. I was like, hey, you going to hang out with us? I was like, okay. And that was that.
Yeah, I do actually.
Been buddies ever since.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be buddies for life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And what's so funny is we didn't even know it. We're already friends on Facebook from the crowds that we follow on social media. We're
I was friends with all of them on Facebook. Didn't even realize it.
We didn't even know
That's
because
awesome.
we were like, hey, my name's, this and this. We're searching. I'm like, oh, we're already friends. Like, holy crap, So
yeah, that's why leading up
meeting
to
all the people he never knew you knew on Facebook.
oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
meet them.
I don't like anybody that has anything to do with drag racing. Basically, if I get on Facebook and I see somebody make a comment, I'm like, who's that? I'm like, oh, they're cool. They're into the same thing I'm in. I'll friend them,
Oh yeah.
Or they do this, people friend me all the time that way too, probably. And
folks I've never met.
Stockpile of drag race buddies,
Yeah, listen, if you've got a cool car in your profile picture, we're buddies.
That's right.
That's how it works.
I don't know if mine can.
No, somebody sends me a friend request. That's first thing I do. I open it's like cars.
Yep.
All right, they're all right.
Yep. That's how I screen people.
Yeah.
You have any cool cars?
Yeah, there's it's funny, running so many different Instagram pages. We end up folks will follow us, and I'm always trying to make the decision to follow back, and like if I go to their page and in the first like 5 pictures there's not a car, I'm like, nope,
Go away.
you can watch my stuff, I'm not going to watch your stuff.
Same way.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's just
funny.
like the youngest one, the one doing the puppet show with the dog there. Her uncle was out in Florida for sick week.
Mhm.
She rode around with him quite a bit, just ride in the truck and be warm. First day they were walking, said he got to the track. A couple hours later, we hadn't seen him. She calls him. She's like, "Where are you at?" He's like, she knows everybody here. She's like, I can't get anywhere. She goes 5 feet and she's talking to somebody else that no.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
leave it up to the youngest one. She's just
She's
like,
like,
"Hi,
he's
this
like,
is our
yeah.
car. What? Tell me about yours."
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
like she just knows everybody. Had to stop here, talk to this person. Had to stop there, talk to this person.
And he's like, "I don't know how you deal with that."
You like,
So there's a
we
guy
just
on the
keep
chat.
walking.
Sorry, there's a guy in the chat mentioned rugged radio headsets that were about $100 a piece. So, yep, that's the
Here
one.
it is.
That's
Yeah, I was
cheap.
gonna say
So
I
that
didn't
could
see
be an
any.
alternative.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see any rugged radios that were that cheap. I think
Is
the
it most
cheapest
of those
rugged
that are
set-
I
expensive?
just looked them up on Amazon.
Yeah.
They were like one headset was like $135.
Yeah.
I know the guy that owns racing radios that does all the NASCAR stuff. He's local to me, and I've worked on some of his stuff. But I've
Oh,
never priced any
sponsorship.
of his. I've never priced. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Come on, man.
I did. I did a lift kit on his truck about
Can we
a year
get
and
a
a half
good
ago.
one?
Yeah. We need used ones. We need ones that the NASCAR teams use that they leave in a bucket around back. That's the one I need.
I might reach out to him because his shop's not far from here.
Even to borrow some for an event, that'd be even better.
Yeah,
That would go at the-
Those
he's a big
old
car
outdated
guy.
stuff they don't use anymore might just be laying around for the pickings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. He's a big
Yeah.
car guy, man. He's into drag racing. He's into everything. They do roundy round stuff, drag racing. They do a little bit of everything. They're
Look
really
at
cool
all of the
people.
cars you could outfit with your old radios.
Right.
Yes.
I never thought I would need any of that in drag racing. It's like,
Yeah.
but the drag and drive event stuff, it changes everything.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
CVs that's the key, especially if you're traveling with a group and somebody's breaking down and they're behind everybody or something.
Yep.
Like Reggie was in front of me and his alternator started going out, and I could tell because his trailer lights went away first, and then he's like, I think my alternator's going out. I was like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but the
Yeah, they're
guys that
usually
were in
calling me,
front, like
telling
I
me,
think
"You're
Jason
gonna
and
drop
Scott and those guys were in front. They didn't know.
No,
Yep.
they did. Well, and you wouldn't. I'm always hollering at him, turn off your turn signal.
Yeah, we did a lot of that.
That's Jason.
That's Jason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, it's only been 36
Oh,
miles posted
other-
on Facebook.
Other people call in. Someone's like, "You gonna turn or you gonna turn off the blinker?"
Turn it off.
All the time.
Blake.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
that
I'm-
was the first year that I raced. I broke down on the side of the road, and I tried calling him, but his car was so loud, he had no idea, so he was just gone.
Yep.
So there I was, all by myself.
See, Mike, if you and Justin would have had a CB, I'd have known y'all broke down because I went by y'all and didn't even know y'all were
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other tip I'm going to tell in every live stream. If you're breaking down, park by the side of the road. Do not park in a Publix parking lot that's, an eighth of a mile from the road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
Yep.
then nobody knows to stop.
Yep.
Or if
Yes,
you
well, how many
put the
times
notification
did-
out so everybody knows where you're at.
Well, how many times on the way home did you see somebody on the side of the road and you wanted to give them a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's not how we do this in the real life.
No,
The girls, pretty much, after every drag and drive event, if they see somebody, they're all looking out the windows. I'm like,
Yep.
they're not going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But
Jason said he ran out of blinks on the third day.
I had to buy a lot of blinker fluid usually by then.
Actually, I used my blinkers so much my stem loosened up and they just stopped working. So I started putting my hand out the window, using old fashioned hand signals.
Nice. People were like, what's that dude doing?
I need to fix that.
they don't know.
I need to
Yeah,
fix
they don't
that
know.
tonight before I go to Mount Austin.
I think this was the first year that Reggie actually put in turn signals. They actually worked.
Yes, it was.
Yes. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have turn signals in the old truck, so the cart does because it's still a Grand Marquis.
Don't you have to have them for tech?
Yep.
Not,
mean,
not a 31 Ford, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, probably not. I mean, they're probably not going to check that for one, and then
Yeah, there was no turn
It
signal.
had that little metal flapper that stuck out the door for a turn signal.
But I just went through like going through tech, not like
No,
originally.
if it didn't come factory,
Yeah.
they let it pass without.
At least they did Rocky
Okay.
Mountain Race Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about here.
I don't know because I know that we had to.
Yeah, ours
Ours
had
had
turn
turn
signals.
signals to originally, so.
yeah, I'm gonna have to get those wired up soon at some point. I don't know.
All you have to
No, I
is
was-
put
They made
a
that
switch
cheap
on the left side
Amazon.
of the dash.
That cheap
Right
Amazon
now,
little
the
turn
race
signal
week-
switch for $20.
Yep.
That's what we used.
Oh, and I'm sure Nick's going to mention, Nick Derry, he's going to mention my horn that went.
Oh, 3 cars.
Yeah, we passed
one
my
horn
little
for 3 cars.
We passed it. I'm not going to tell you. Now, people running Rocky Mountain Race are going to be like looking at us now. So we had the one horn, little tiny air horn taped to my windshield frame.
Quick, somebody tag Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like we hit the horn. I mean, it was the weakest horn ever. I threw it back to Nick. He went through tech with it, and I think somebody else borrowed it.
Reggie.
Reggie borrowed it because we didn't have horns, and so I ended up taping it on the windshield post. So going down the road, I actually had a horn. So.
Jason had the little horn from a bicycle.
Yeah, the big
taped on
bicycle
his.
horn. Yeah. Yeah.
For the cart, we left most of the wiring for that car, and so it still had the defrost power on. So I just wired the horn directly to it, and I would turn the rear defrost on to turn the horn on. So it if it doesn't power the horn, it powers the tire sprayer. So
Yep,
Did that work?
that fixed it.
Yeah, whoever put the steering
Trying to
wheel in
die.
El Camino didn't put the adapter in right or something. The horn button is about that much too short, little contact from touching. But I don't know. I got to figure that out or rig me up some sort of external horn for 1.0.
I just got mine a button on the roll cage. Just reach down and hit the button.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that.
Got one of those
Justin's-
nice Awooga horns from Harbor Freight.
Yes.
I like the Haugas.
Yep. Justin, his the little contact was still in the steering wheel, so he just carried a small screwdriver in his pocket like he normally does for work, and he just go like he just touched he just contacted.
Yeah, mine works. If you take the steering wheel off, you can touch it with a screwdriver and ground it out. It'll blow the horn.
Steering wheel.
Huh?
Just drive without a
Go
steering.
through tech
Yeah.
without a steering wheel.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Put a pair of vice grips
Leave
on
the
there.
nuts off where I can just pop it off and be like,
Yeah,
See, it
put a pair
works.
of vice grips on it so you can steer to get through, and you can honk the horn.
Yeah, they'll be totally fine with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Why not?
They like that stuff. All right, guys, let's go for another few minutes, and then I'm probably going to head towards the house. What one thing we haven't asked about is how many drag and drive events everybody's been on. I know, Rob and Chris, you talked about 4 earlier. I mean, have you got that you won? Have you been on any others? Dang, 6
So that-
total.
this was our 6th one,
So we did our first Rocky Mountain in 2019,
and then 2.0.
then 1.0, 2.0 in 2020, 1.0, 2.0 last year, and then Sick Week.
Were you just totally hooked after the first one?
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
I was hooked
I've
before
been
I
drag
did it.
racing
It
30
was
years.
it was getting
and
them hooked.
I've been drag racing 30 years, and I got out for a few years raising children and running a business and hurting a back and all that good stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have did this when like Hot Rod started it,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
because this is a lot of fun. I really,
Yeah.
really like it. The camaraderie is the best part of it, really.
Right.
It's
mean,
a big family.
It
Yeah.
is. I mean, you need a
Yeah.
vacation afterwards.
After I got done working on top fuel cars and doing that, I had no desire to ever go to the racetrack again.
Yeah.
Like, I was just done with it, and then started seeing this, and it's like, man, this shit looks like a lot of fun, like it's supposed to be. And
yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
Well, and especially like for one of the biggest things is like that's in your backyard. Rocky Mountain. I mean, you guys live in Colorado Springs, is that right?
We're north of Denver.
North of Denver.
North of Denver, that's right. Yeah, so I mean, it's it's like you guys and Scott and Bob, like it's close, and so it's going to be interesting over the next like 4 or 5 years as the drag and drive fad comes on and like kind of takes off. Like how many more people will get in. Like all the guys in the Northeast, like Mike Corsilli, who was on last week, and Robbie Dowdy, who lives in Virginia. Those guys. I mean, they kind of get that way with the drag week every what, 4 or 5 years, maybe something like that. But there was nothing out y'all's way. So it's really cool. It's that. And then now Scott and Bob have one in their backyard. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like we heard about it and we're watching it and we're like, okay, let's get in it. But I didn't get in the race, but hey, I was like, it's going to be the same fun, maybe not as much stress, but let's do our testing and tuning, make sure our combination works, and make the road trip. We started. I wanted to get into my first run. We were trying to get into the Hot Rod Drag Week, and it was, if you guys remember, COVID hit, they canceled it.
Yeah.
And me and Jason and I talked to Reggie, and we were like, hey, we're just going to go and show up, Well, Jason calls me up, or he was up to shop one. And he goes, hey, it canceled, but we're getting into Rocky Mountain Race Week. And I'm like, what is that? So basically we figured out what was going on, and he gave me June's number, so I called up June right away, and that's when they had the problems with their website.
Mhm.
And so I called her. She was like, hey, we got a spot for you. Go ahead, sign up, get in. And I'm like, okay, so that was just awesome that their website crashed. So now they had an open spot, so we could get in. So we also sponsored at Rocky Mountain Race Week. We sponsored a class out there, so that helped us get in. That was the second time we went, and that got me in the door for a position. So, but I really felt that I am a small shop. I don't have a big bank or anything like that, but I really truly, after that first time we did this, I was hooked. I thought this was such an awesome event, and Matt and Gene did such a great job, and I can't, that's why I sponsored. That's why I wanted to get back into it. And then Sick Week, Tom Bailey and all those guys, I don't know him personally, but, it seems like all these people are just awesome people. And, we've met so many more. We met Dave, I met, Mike, I met you on this trip. We kind of met the first time, but we didn't talk that much. So, and you guys, Christy and Rob, we saw you out at Rocky Mountain Race Week, and all that good stuff. So, but like you said, it's a big family, and if you're broke down on the side of the road, we're all going to help each other out. And I just love that mentality. It's kind of
that first year, we met a lot of great people broken on the side of the road, because I think we were on the side of the road broke more than we weren't.
Yeah.
We were on fire like 3 different
Yeah,
times.
on fire a few times.
It sucks.
And it was raining. One day, we're broke somewhere eastern Colorado, almost to Kansas, grabbing the air compressor and stuff out of the trailer. It's pouring rain out. Got hydrolocked. I'm walking by the car. All of a sudden, poof, I just disappeared. I'm looking up. I can see the sky and everything way up there. They're all in the car looking like, where did he go?
I'm like, where are you? He fell down and there was a ditch.
There's a ditch, but you couldn't see it because all the grass and everything was up tall.
Oh,
It was wet and raining. I stepped and I went like 10 foot down into a ditch.
Yeah, I
This
did
is
that
crazy.
on getting the truck and trailer to the track one time. We stopped the side road and just.
Yeah, he opened.
I had a friend die that way.
It was a real big pitch off.
I
And
did.
I see Bob running, and I'm like, he don't run.
In Tennessee.
Right? He don't run. Someone's got to be on fire if he's running. But he just went down the hill and couldn't stop. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man, y'all got to be careful with that, because I had a friend pass away that we used to race with years ago. He lived in Chattanooga, and we used to race at Brainerd all the time, which is on the Georgia-Tennessee border. And he was somewhere in Tennessee and stopped on the side of the road to take a leak by himself, and he fell off the side of the mountain.
Jeez.
Yeah.
At least this was just a drainage ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're glad it was a drainage ditch.
Yeah, that's scary though. At night, I can imagine that could get dangerous in the mountains.
Last year, coming through the hills,
I almost hit a moose. On one last year.
That's like a
Went up
building.
the track, went around the corner. There's a big bull moose in the middle of the road. I'm like, this is really gonna suck.
Yeah.
He just happened to mosey off the road in time as we went through the turn, because there was no way I could miss him. If he would have stood there, I was going to hit him.
My buddy said they were out in Yellowstone, and like the elk, their eyes don't glow like a deer. Like you shine your headlights on a deer and you can see their eyeballs. They're like, the elks don't do that. So you got to be really careful. You'll run right into a herd of elk. I was like, that's nuts.
That's fine. Yeah, I've got to do 1.0. I know I can't do it this year. We're doing 2.0. I'm going to hit the last 2 days of drag week. I mean, there's no way I can make all of that work. So
I'm doing everything I can to make 1.0.
Yeah,
I can't
1.0
do any of them,
2020.
but I do them anyways.
Man, like I've got the vacation time at work to do them, but I just, family vacation, two drag and drive event, week long drag and drive events.
We're gonna make a family vacation out of that, and then we're going to Destin in July for a little car show Schaefer's putting on, and we're
There
gonna
you go.
make another family
You're
vacation
gonna
out
be
of
down
that.
here. You're gonna be down here when?
July.
Okay.
Wait, what time? What time is that? Maybe I'll move my family vacation to July.
It's
Okay.
I don't know if Jason's still on here, if he can confirm the dates.
I
I'm
wonder
not
if
sure
it's
if
at
they've
the
confirmed
Army
them yet.
Museum.
His church is putting on a car
his
show,
church
I think
is.
on 4th of July weekend. It's somewhere around about that. And we're going to try to do a family vacation down there in that time frame and help him out at the car show, and maybe, bring the El Camino down, and then go maybe hang out at the beach and do some fishing and all that stuff. July 3rd, he's saying right
July
there.
3rd,
Yeah.
Huh.
It's going to be hot as crap July 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be hot, but it'll be
cool.
fun.
It will be hot.
Yeah.
We get some pool
Yeah.
time later and some beach time in with the whole family and stuff. Maybe do a little fishing. I like to fish.
He said renovated rides car show. Yeah, Danny Fatk is asking where. You said it was in Destin?
It's gonna be Niceville, probably.
Niceville, I think.
Yeah.
Close to Destin, right?
Cool.
Yeah, it's only 20 miles from.
Nice. All right, might figure that out. I'm sure Airbnb stuff around there is going to be pretty tough to get 4th of July weekend. So, or 4th of July week. So, may have to move around that a little bit. Yeah. Hey, honey, we're going to tent camp for vacation.
Florida.
Should be like,
We're definitely not tent camping in
Phoenix,
July.
Florida, Niceville, Florida.
yeah.
The last time I tent camped, I was 2 weeks before I had the youngest, and I was like,
No, hell no.
I
2
thought I
weeks.
gave tent camping up. I bought a huge toy hauler. I had the camp family used to go camping all the time and glamping, and we went everywhere with that toy hauler. But really, that
so that's what we've got now because
So I like glamping. Everybody's like, that's not going camping. I'm like, no, I go to the lake and I got AC and a comfortable place to sleep.
in a shower.
in
I go
summer
enjoy
it's
the lake.
necessary.
Yeah.
Well, I
But in the
understand
winter,
taking
it's
the
really
RV
hot.
on
I
sick week if he couldn't get his car going.
Yeah, we're just gonna take our.
Fuel prices would have just killed me. Just like 4 or 5 miles on the gallon.
Yeah, I'll be buying a motorhome for going to racetracks and stuff. That's not drag and drive stuff, and just family camping too. We miss that, but I'll camp in a tent when it's not hot. No problem.
Yeah. No, I gave up on tent camping after.
Yeah, I keep
I'm overly insulated. I need my AC.
Yeah, I keep
It's
threatening
hot.
Steve.
I'm the same way.
I keep threatening Steven I'm going to put a tent on top of the cart, and that's what we're going to stay in for the week. And he's like, no. And then I'm like, you're right. We're going to stay in hotels. I need a shower.
I'm still bummed.
I'm telling you, I've got the solution to the showers. It's Epic wipes. They're 2.5 feet wide. They use them for like bathing patients who can't take showers, and the military uses them. They're all natural. Every night I'd get that thing out in my tent and I'd warm it up over my propane heater, and I'd strip down. I'd take a bath with that every night before I got into bed, and I was fine the whole week.
Maybe not everybody else was.
No, look. Ask Scott Bob, and I even asked.
He was still stinking.
I asked. I don't know. I didn't smell myself. I did ask Chris Story one day. We were sitting there. We were taking pictures at I think Valdosta. I was telling him about it because I learned that trick from a photographer from Drag Illustrated. We were at one of Duck's races in Valdosta one year, and I was sleeping in my race car trailer, and I was there for like 4 days. And I was so ready for a shower. And I was like, how do you do that? Because he was there for like 7 days, sleeping in a Sprinter van. I was like, how do you do this without a shower? And he turned me on to those wipes. He's like, man, it's a lifesaver. He said, you just have to do them every day and reapply your deodorant, and you're good to go. And he's right. It works.
Yeah, usually nice quick trip out to the truck stop, take a shower, and
Yeah.
Those two.
We were going to
we
do
tried
that,
that.
but the waits were too long.
Yeah, they had 3 showers operating, and there was like 15 in line, and we're like, we're not going to make the next track.
Yeah.
That's
Epic Wipes. They'll save your life. Buy a case of them at a time on Amazon.
Epic Wipes. Hey, epicwipes.com. I'm sure. Listen, hook our buddy Dave up.
Sponsorship here.
Yeah.
Give a plug.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need many, just a couple of cases. Like, dude, that'd be worth it just for the conversation we've had here. All right. Let's go through some closing topics here and tell everybody that's still listening, hanging out with us, and that'll watch us later, why they should do drag and drive events.
I want to say why they shouldn't, so I can get in next year. So
most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Yeah.
Well, after 20 years in the military, it's the closest thing to having that military camaraderie that I've seen since I retired. I mean, it's just like being, it's such a tight knit group. The camaraderie is just phenomenal. And if you don't do it for anything other than that, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lifelong friends for sure, whether you guys want to be my friends or not.
Well, the bad part is you'll be watching some stupid video on YouTube and you go, man, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, what track,
Well, when I met,
I'm like, where do we know them from?
Oh yeah.
Well, it was Kyle from Boosted Life. He came down with Rick Guido, right? And I'm sitting at the dinner table at Jason's house. I was talking to him, and I'm like, dude, do we know each other? And I'm like, we at a car show or something. He goes, dude, I'm from Canada. I'm like, okay. So then he told me he was on YouTube. So I'm like, okay. So all these guys that we watch on videos, it's like you think you know them. And you just walk up to them, say my name, and they look at you like you're retarded, But, it was funny because...
It's weird when it happens, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had a ton of people. Even at Sick Week, come up to her, where's Henry J at? Where's Henrietta?
Yeah.
She's like, who are you?
Yeah.
I know you. I'm horrible with names, so I'm just like...
I am too.
Amen.
But yeah, they're like, oh, the Henry J didn't make it. And I'm like...
How do you know about the Henry J? Yeah.
Right? And then
I
forget. I'm like, I didn't realize.
Yep. You forget you're a celebrity? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, I got interviewed on Sick Week and I told him, I was like, do not put me on camera. I am not camera friendly.
Whatever.
I am
whatever.
Like these two fat old guys are?
Yeah.
My mouth runs away from me. I have zero filter.
Yeah, Chad interviewed her live.
You should see the filter I'm putting in front of mine right now.
Oh, yeah. This is the nicest I've been in months.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly right. I will say what's crazy is the, I'm comfortable. Like I just got an email a while ago that this is our 800th upload to YouTube.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like
awesome.
I've been on camera a bunch, so it doesn't scare me anymore, right? Well, I would go around to these folks and I'm trying to do the interview thing and trying to talk to people. Yeah. And so I will say that having the microphone and being able to give it to folks and then be able to stand off to the side made things a lot easier, because there's a lot of folks that aren't as comfortable talking about stuff and being in front, because a lot of those camera guys, they want to stick that camera right in your face and you tell a story that you've known them for 12 seconds and they're like, here, tell me the coolest story of your life. You're like, what are you talking about? What? I suddenly, the only word I know is and I say it about 700 times.
Yep. I remember the first time I had a camera stuck in my face, I was like,
yeah.
The ESPN cameras are right there going,
well, who
what's your
are
name?
you?
What do you do? It's like,
go away.
Got her. Racers and Rods did a ton of great interviews. If you guys aren't following that channel, please go over and do that. Lots of, they were kind of doing the same thing that we were doing, talking to a ton of the racers. They got a lot of folks that we didn't. Fortunately, they talked to a lot of the big names. They talked to a lot of folks on the small side of stuff too. They obviously interviewed Justin, which was a cool thing. I didn't even interview Justin. I mean, I rode with him all week. Yeah, I know.
You get no interview. I had to spend too much time with you already.
Yeah, I felt bad. Like we kept talking, but when you're in that car every day, there's no reason for me to do a 60-second spotlight on it because I'm in it all day and I didn't even think about it like that. So I should have done that. I will have him on the channel soon on a live stream. I got Dave, I got Scott, I got Rob. He was on there. He did great. All that kind of fun stuff. So, all right, we're at 2:34. Anything last anybody wants to say?
Remember to interview the little people. They matter too.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen, I love talking to your daughters. It was so cool. They were really good. They were. What amazed me was their comfort on camera. And I was going to say it a while ago when the little one was in there, but your middle one, I don't remember her name. Gracie.
The middle-sized one. She's the oldest.
Oh, okay. Her name's Gracie, right?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Go ahead.
It's her niece. But
It's our niece, but she's
Okay.
pretty much ours. But yeah.
Gotcha. She hangs out with you a bunch. Well,
Yeah.
she was talking about Skyla, and she was like, "Oh," because I asked if they now have friends, from just drag and drive events. Like, do you see friends? And she was like, "Oh, she talks to everybody." Talking about Skyla, I can see that.
Oh yeah, we'll be at a gas station or whatever, and Deb Taylor, anybody there. Skyla's like, "I'm hot. Can I ride with you for a while?" So she just jumps in the car with Deb Taylor and rides around with them to the track, and soaks up AC. And yeah, she's got friends everywhere.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And Danny Fatke here saying he suggested that to Blaine, talking to folks. Blaine and those guys are Blaine and Tom, super cool, and they're running a real program. I mean, they got that car will run 9s this year, surely, right?
And they were
surely
so close.
They were really close.
They went on 000.
Yeah, 10-007 or something crazy like that. So
yeah, 00 with a 7. That's right.
I thought it was an 004, but I could be wrong.
Maybe it was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're right. 004. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it was 00. Yeah, 004. That and like to be that close. I mean, like you could see it on Blaine's video from day 5 when Tom was on the pass.
Yeah.
And missed the 2-3. Yeah, and you could see it on his face when he pulled back in, and Blaine was running the camera. So I'm excited for them to be recording to have all that footage later. And they're like, okay,
putting a man pedal on the El Camino.
Dude, do it.
I'm thinking about
why wouldn't you?
I'm weighing the options of building my Power Glide with a gear vendor or putting a T5 or T5 Magnum or whatever. I do a lot of research on the straight shit.
Full of cash. I'll put a man pedal in the Falcon if somebody donates it.
Yeah. The struggle for Rob is like, I mean, dude, that you got to like do the same kind of stuff that the big boys do because of the power you're running. So, yeah.
Well, if he puts that setup in a much lighter car, it's gonna be scary.
Man. I think he's gonna move out for sure.
He'll have fun in it.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there tinkling myself.
Like I told her, it's like I'll put Falcons together or whatever else. I don't care how nice it is. I crash that, it's whatever. Move along. Crash the 54, I'll be sad about hurting that car.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Okay, let's do one last round of where everybody can follow you guys on social, and then I've got to go inside.
Yeah.
Well, Scott Guthrie's personal Facebook, but Vets Unlimited is on Facebook, and then Vet Master Scott on Instagram, which I really don't know how to use Instagram. I'm an old guy. So, and then you got Robert Payne.
Yeah, on Facebook's all I got.
Yep. And but you guys are more than welcome to stop by here in sunny Florida. Like I said, it was 78, 79 degrees today.
Bastards.
I know. I'm out there playing in the snow, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right, ours is Twisted Iron LLC on YouTube.
And then
just
at
our
Rob
names.
Lipinski for Instagram, and then our names are Facebook pages.
Yep.
Me? All right.
Yep.
It's Hot Rod Dave on YouTube, Hot Rod Dave TV on Instagram. I got TikTok too. Hot Rod Dave YouTube on TikTok.
Oh, don't watch our TikToks.
You want to see a bunch of dirty jokes?
I like dirty jokes.
Yeah.
Perfect. What's your TikTok?
I think it's just Rob Lipinski. I don't know. I don't even honestly know the address on it.
I'll find it real quick.
She'll find
Perfect. Yeah, TikTok is a lot of fun. The struggle with TikTok, well, for everybody knows, you can find us anywhere in Narcoleptic Customs, anywhere.
You got a big TikTok.
Hey, we just crossed 20,000 followers on TikTok.
I saw that. I saw you're like 19.5 the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, we
Twisted Iron 7 on TikTok.
Yeah, Twisted
Twisted
Iron
Iron
and number 7 on
awesome.
TikTok, but not around children. Don't watch it.
Inappropriate for children. I love it. Okay, I'm going to spend
As
some time
opposed
over
to
there.
TikTok.
Yeah. Usually children are being inappropriate on TikTok. It's been a ton of fun. And what's funny is we really edit a ton of our shorts on the TikTok app just because it's easy to cut stuff and things like that. So add music and all that kind of stuff. If YouTube would get around to making an easier shorts editor, I would use it, but they don't, so we don't. So anyways, y'all, thank you very much. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. I mean, 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's what I love about these. For everybody that is just now getting here, you've missed a great one. Go back to the beginning. The cool thing that I realized earlier today about doing these is it gives me another chance to visit with Sick Week and Drag and Drive folks that obviously, we typically know and have hung out with. So I certainly appreciate that. So I think the next one, I think we've got, let me see who's up next, because I'm trying to do a couples one as well with a few folks. So hang on.
We've just done our couples one, though.
Yeah.
No
wife's
comment
not
from
coming on,
here.
so count me out on that one.
What a cute couple you two
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I knew we've known each other for quite a while.
Yeah. Nice.
What's
We'll
the-
be 3-1, I think, is our next one, and then 3-8 with Jared Holt from they're hosting a Drag and Drive out of Thunder Valley. So he's going to tell us a little bit about that on 3-8, and then I don't know from there. We're gonna have a ton of folks. All right.
Check out my coverage from Lights Out.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to see that. I really want to get to one of those races too.
Hopefully I can get some. Donald Long's pretty bad about not letting people make any money off of any of this stuff. So he might charge me 30% of my dollar I'm going to make off my YouTube videos.
Nice. Yeah, just tell him. Yep, I'll get it to you, bud. Here you go. Yeah,
That's got your dollar.
Yeah, here you go. It'll take 3 months for me to get it to you. Yeah. All right, I'm going to end this, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that has been a part of this, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Good night.